And we're live. Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of ESP Presents Into the Old Margreve. We're very excited to announce a couple things right off the bat. First of all, one of our music partners has a new track out. It is the Guild of Ambiance that you're currently hearing right now. Full music partner with express written permission to use and promote their material here, so you can check out the Guild of Ambiance. This is Enchanted Lands Volume 3. All of the Enchanted Lands are hauntingly beautiful. You can use for your tabletop RPG games, and for anyone that's in the TTRPG industry, if you want to use it, reach out to them by email, see if you can work something out. They're always open to new partnerships. So thank you, Guild of Ambiance, for your continued support, and y'all are awesome. Keep doing your thing. Secondly, we have a couple of tarot cards already in the queue, which I'm excited about. So after kind of circling back with Llewellyn Publishing, right? So we have for Heaven's Fire and Stormwatch. Okay, let me fix the camera real quick. I'm gonna get real close and then back up. You can see my eye makeup, and then there we go. Okay. No, it's still blurry. Let me fix. See if I can do that. Let's switch to the C310 and then back to the C920. There we go. Okay. I don't know why it does that. So, for Heaven's Fire, our anchor campaign, and for Stormwatch, our MCDM Kingdoms and Warfare campaign, we have we have a predetermined list of roll tables from the Adventurers Tarot from Weirdworks LLC, from our friends over at Weirdworks. So, we are also partnered with Llewellyn Publishing and the Darkwood Tarot from Sasha Graham and Abigail Larson. So for this tarot deck specifically, this is cool. So what's the unique thing about this deck is that we're not going to do roll tables. And the reason we're not going to do roll tables is because the Margreve is a literal living, breathing entity. And in a way, we can also show off what's in the Darkwood Tarot deck, what's in the companion, and what are in the cards, and kind of just, because the Margreve is alive, it lets me interpret the cards how I want to, and it also lets me show off this really cool product from Llewellyn Publishing. Here's the box. And so we're not sponsored, we're partnered, which means in today's day and age of DMCA, there is a lot of things that you can't use. So it's really, really cool when a publisher gives you express written permission to show off their stuff on stream. Be like, yeah, you can plug this stuff for us. There was some early conversations about, well, it should be a roll table for, just in case, someone wants to, confirm, or so it doesn't feel, like you're making things up. But one of the joys of DMing is being able to make things up. And the coolest thing about the Margreve is that the paths can literally change on a moment's notice. The trees move and bend. The beasts can be controlled by the forest itself, which has already become apparent. The actual road can wind and bend and warp. Your very sense of reality can change. So because of that, we've made the decision that we're going to kind of wing it for interpretation, which I'm very excited about. Llewellyn and the team is excited about, because we get to kind of more accurately show off the cards, and I get to kind of do my own thing, which is really nice to kind of leave it up to interpretation. And the Margreve has so many opportunities for the party to just veer off into some completely random just nightmare or dreamscape. And I know what's going on here. I've got layers upon layers upon layers. I've got a whole notebook full of notes, and I've got 800 tabs of NPCs. So I've got a list in my head. I'm excited. But for anyone that's pulling a tarot card, there is a certain element of chaos that you're going to get here, which I think is heckin' exciting, because it really spices things up, in my opinion. But if you're looking for more of like that roll table feel, you're definitely going to get that in Heaven's Fire and Stormwatch. If you're looking for more like chaotic, more traditional tarot interpretation, you're going to want to watch this stream, because it's like a free-for-all, and the path can literally just change at a moment's notice, and it fits in the lore. And this deck is so cool and the art is just so awesome. I'm really excited to really be able to like tap into it and not have to be like, oh, well, it's going to be advantage on this thing, to really like bring it to life. So that's exciting. Also, casting form announcement. We are going to be holding a one-shot for Pride Month, specifically for Pride Month, to celebrate Pride Month. And we are, as we mentioned before, but it's official now, going to be casting for Himbos of Myth and Metal. That is going to be June 25th, Saturday, June 25th. So as of the end of this stream, the casting form will be live on our Discord server, which you can find here.
Wait, isn't the Sunday the 25th? Isn't it Sunday the 25th, not the 25th?
Let me double check, because I don't know how to read. I don't know how to read calendars. Saturday the 24th. Yes, thank you.
That was just a really big move.
Yeah.
Calendars are made up.
My timetable is also so messed up because of the long weekend. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's Monday. No, it's not.
Also, I like the implication that we apparently wouldn't be getting into all sorts of chaos and shenanigans and wandering off doing stupid shit without the tarot cards.
True.
Look, we got sidetracked by an hour. We got sidetracked for an hour by a lizard. We're not getting anywhere quickly.
That's not all. Also, let's not forget to mention the fact that we took 20 minutes trying to do math.
I mean,
look, we have
me.
We have the one brain cell, and the lizard has most of it.
So yeah, that's the tarot announcement. That's our tarot partner announcement. That is our music partner announcement. And then also our casting announcement. So we're going to be casting a cast of 5. And as of the end of the stream today, the casting form will be up on our Discord. So anyone that wants to apply, please do so. And then we're going to be making a public Twitter announcement as well. But for the first 24 to 48 hours, it's going to be open for individuals in our Discord server first that can apply. And cool thing is that anybody can be a himbo. So there's himbos, thembos, lady himbos, and it's a really cool system. It's rules light, and it's just going to be chaos shenanigans in the woods, kind of like this, but more silly. Like definitely much more silly. Whereas this has like a lot of really serious things happening behind the scenes under this veneer of like, what have we gotten ourselves into? So there's definitely going to be more of an opportunity to really be silly with that. So if you're interested, you can go to our Discord, check that out after the stream tonight, and let it be there. So yes, and hello to all of our friends. It's not quite a PBTA game. It's just sort of, I think it's its own system. It's rules light, and it's from Huge Boar Games. And it's just like a giant meme, but it's hilarious. Like on the very back, here's what Huge Boar writes about it. Himbos of Myth and Metal is a high fantasy, high camp role-playing game of epic proportions of body for 2 to 5 players, one of whom will act as the guide. The rules center around a simple roll under mechanic, and so yeah, it's a roll under, so kind of in its own way, but a little more simplified. Prioritizes narrative flair and cinematic descriptions. Himbos is inspired by many classic fantasy properties, but leans toward a more garish, salacious, and queer, gay, or odd, pick your fighter, style of play. It's also a little horny. So I'm excited for that, and that's going to be fun. So yeah, and it's really cool. So Nick, I expect to see your name on there. I feel like you'd really enjoy it. So yeah, you can check that out. Let me get rid of this giant blanket because it's getting hot in here. And let's just jump right in. We'll go around the table, and people can introduce themselves who they're playing. And at the end of the session, we're going to do sort of full round of promos. But for now, let's go clockwise. So, Mist, Val, who are you? Who are you playing? Obviously, I already said it, but you can say it again.
Hi, I'm Valerie. I'm playing Mist, the half tabaxi bard, and general, chaos gremlin.
Awesome, thank you, Val. And Garnet.
Hey y'all, this is Garnet. I am playing Nefrit, the Earth Genasi druid sorceress. I had to remember what I was doing because I am not actually a cleric, but I am very religious.
Awesome, thank you, Garnet. Did I put your... No, there we go. Okay. And Allie. Hi.
Hello, I am Allie. I am playing Gillian, one of our resident bards. And yes, 'twas I who distracted and sidetracked the party for an hour regarding a lizard. And I cannot promise that would be the last time that happens.
It's worth it.
And Corndog.
It's me, Corndog. I am going to be playing a Kathleen Deep Delver, the dwarf warlock who has a thing for unicorns and candy.
And thank you, Corndog. And Heck.
Yeah, hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot, and I am playing, as per usual, Estelle Havenshade, the human rogue, partial stock owner of the brain cell, but only sometimes. The two of us use she, they pronouns.
Awesome, thank you, Heck. Hi, Anna. Hello, 3 tarot pulls, alright.
We're gonna be busy right up front.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Well, the good thing about what we were talking about earlier. Hi, Kat. Kat and Cat0211 is one of our patrons, one of our top tier patrons in our Exandria campaign, as is that one a romantic Anna. So thank y'all for coming to hang out with us once again. And we got 3 right off the rip, which is going to be very exciting. So again, Llewellyn Publishing. I'm going to have a link. I thought there was one in here. There should be somewhere, so I just got to find it in Nightbot. But in the meantime, we'll get that ready for you. Who wants to give us a recap of what happened in the first couple of sessions for a DM inspiration? If you already have DM inspiration, you can pass it on to someone else.
I have notes, but they're terrible because they end immediately at the end of shopping. Which
My notes are in another room.
It did take up some time. It was not the whole time. I have excellent shopping notes, garbage everything else.
We can tag team because I have.
Yeah.
Shopping notes are
shopping notes?
important. For sure. Gotta keep track of what you got.
I can go with the shopping notes real quick for you, and then you can fill in everyone else at home. We got some mushroom jerky and trail mix and rations. And then I went and got candy from Moneypenny's Sugar Shack. And then we also purchased 1 bottle of flaxseed oil that will keep blades from rusting. And that is the end of my notes.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm so sorry, Garnet. I can just recall everything else.
Okay, so after, or I guess before the shopping, rather, there was trip to the library, which was not super helpful in terms of what's in the Margreve, but super helpful learning about the staff that Nefrit saw in her dream and now is desperate to find. We ran into a troop of really buff, hot ladies at the armory, where we bought that flaxseed oil, and they were being really buff and really hot and on a mission to go cause some chaos elsewhere in the kingdom with some other folks. And then we finally made our way into the forest. We met up with the Dragonborns, who said that we could hang out with them to get into the forest. Nefrit has decided to plant apple seeds in and around the forest as they travel to try to bring some good juju vibes to the party. And now the animals are following us. I distinctly remember there being squirrels following us in the forest when we got there. And when you turn around, we got in the forest, and the forest said, guess what? You can't leave now. Or at least you can't leave the way you came in, because the way you came in is now the way you're facing. It just does that. Margreve said, you can only go forward now, because if you try to go back, you're still going forward.
Yeah, the only thing I would like to add is before we made it into the Margreve, we did spend the night outside, and some more strange visions were had by those
wasn't so much vision, it was a straight up
things.
There were actual people this time. They were real this time, I think. Maybe not the first time, but this time they were definitely.
It's not an SE game without cryptic wizard shit and a bunch of visions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also need to. Oh no, wait. That's.
So what's the over-under on how long till Miss just straight up calls the wizards a dick like she did Harmony?
Our ox was also replaced. Hashtag
Yes.
save
Yeah.
It's a sad day when the ox got replaced, but it's okay.
Now we have Chuck, which is
Yes.
the same thing, but
We
definitely
had
not
Gregory,
as
now we've got Chuck. It's great.
Mhm.
Does anyone remember what those visitors were for? I don't have notes on the visitors. I'm very sad now.
Basically, we're sticking our heads. We are in way over our heads, and we are allegedly destined for great things. And to call her for help when we need it.
That was the
Mhm.
nice lady who showed up second. There was also a mean lady who showed up first.
There was a mean lady.
Yeah,
who
it was
showed up
Meryl
first.
Streep. Sorry.
Ah yes, resident mean lady Meryl Streep showed up and gave us all a fright, and then
A resident mean lady? That's fantastic. All right,
I mean,
well,
she wears it well, so you know.
yeah. There is one DM inspiration to go around. Who wants it?
Garnet did most of the work on this one. Give it to her.
Already did do most of the work.
Agreed.
Yes, very much yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
So go ahead and give yourself DM inspiration. I am gonna check and see what it says. Because this is a very, very interesting tarot card. Let's just see how this goes. The first tarot card up. Let's see who pulled this one. Yeah, go back up. Alright, so Nick, Isabeth, and Anna. Alright, Nick. The first one is the Nine of Pentacles. It's really... Oh, this could be so many things. As you're traveling through the Margreve, the trees seeming to breathe around you, kind of finally gathering your bearings. It's almost as if the blossoms of the trees are blossoming and retracting as they breathe, and the birds are kind of also doing the same, fluffing their wings and feathers and fluffing them back, almost in this eerie unison, this concordance. And as you are kind of drifting, and the path behind you seemingly vanished before you, having grown in with thick foliage, thorn bushes, and vines that seem to follow behind you, nipping at your heels. Bryza and Grixith kind of whistling as they move forward. You begin to see the wood in front of you almost warp as it has been breathing, but seemingly forming an opening before your very eyes. The three paths that seemingly would have arced out before you are now overgrown with thick dirt, and but one path lies before you. And inside of this darkened, shadowy glade, you can see just a somewhat slender, very thin, elvish woman. You can see that she has something kind of like a regal cloak or something wrapped around her from this distance. And you can just make out the most basic of her features, sort of long, dark, raven hair. And she kind of sways with the wind in between the trees as if dancing in the glade. And in the mid-afternoon sun that was formerly dark and shadowed by the canopy kind of opens up but instead of sunlight, there is, in the middle of the day, this haze. And the stars have arisen. And the moon is about 4 or 5 days away from a new moon. It wanes, but the stars shine brightly as she dances, and Nefrit, you are immediately drawn to this dance. This is some kind of a moon dance that gives you some form of recognition. This figure, as she moves and dances, you can see that she has these almost semi-translucent wings that extend as she dances, and they are gossamer, semi-translucent, and have this shimmer to them. She dances through her secret garden. As you can see, these dark purple flowers blossoming inside of this fairy glade, and in the distance there is this gothic stone fountain that has this dark water that has this beautiful scent coming from it. This sort of floral scent mixed with fine fruits and it's almost sickeningly sweet, drawing you all in. You have entered the inner sanctum, the Dark Fairy's secret garden. In the garden, 9 pentacles blossom in the grapevines. These charms that grow in the trees that have the 5-pointed star pentacles that seemingly shimmer and move as if these decorations that have been hung from the trees, but they also are wrapped with vines, and they also sort of sway and move and undulate and breathe along with the rest of the forest. A snail creeps near her feet. She casts her eyes to the side, as if something or someone has caught her attention. It is you. She turns to you and with a flash darts behind the closest tree, and you can hear the creaking of wood behind you. What would y'all like to do? Straight out of the book. That's crazy. I like this. This is so cool.
Nefrit is going to kneel very respectfully, and we didn't mean to intrude. We've only just arrived. Please continue. It was beautiful.
Make a persuasion check.
Let's see. Persuasion.
You got this. You got this. Aaron, the map hasn't loaded up on my end.
Dirty 20.
Let's see if you have vision.
Zoom out. And
Yeah,
go
you
all
might
the
have
way
to
like,
zoom
the bottom
out.
Right.
Although something weird is happening on my edge, so let me reload. Okay, what was your persuasion check?
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. You just see a flash. And, can I have Corndog make a wisdom saving throw with Catelyn?
Fuck yeah, you can.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, there we go.
Y'all are not getting the sense that there is any kind of attack happening, right? It's all
Amazing.
just haunting. Catelyn, you feel sort of, you're thinking, you're kind of just, your thoughts are off elsewhere. You're thinking about these visions that you've had about this majestic unicorn, and that image of this blazing, glowing unicorn seems to come to the forefront of your thoughts, almost like a sanctuary. And it comforts you, as does the candy in your pocket, as this individual, just in a shadow, right behind Catelyn, and appears Mist, can you also make a wisdom saving throw?
Yes, I can. RNGesus, don't fail me now, please.
Oh, cameras are going to get a little weird here for a second. Just stand by for that.
Well,
okay.
Mist failed it miserably. I see my dice luck is back.
You can
It was a
see
2.
you can see her kind of appear behind Mist and just spread the wings. Moment, and yes, I know the cameras are a lot. I have to remind. Oh yeah, so if you step away, I'll tell everybody. Recommend the camera flap close, or like a cloth. Otherwise, the cameras will get all moved around. I'll let Ellie know too when she gets back. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, hey, I'm Gilly now.
Perfect. Yeah. So, yeah. So I was saying, if you all need to step away, open table. But the best way to do it is to like cloth over the camera, or we can see your chair. That's cool too. Or like a camera flap, because otherwise the cameras will do like a shuffle. It's just a weird OBS thing with Discord. I don't know why Discord does that. Because Discord still hasn't fixed that. She kind of appears behind Mist and just kind of breathes in and just says, "Interesting," and moves along. No other effect.
Mist is like, she's right behind me, isn't she?
Well, when you all turn behind Mist, she's no longer there, and she's back in the glade, and you can see the starlight is just beautifully sparkling above, almost glistening like drops in the ocean. And she kind of dances in front of Nefrit, and then looks over at Gillian and Estelle. Catelyn is seemingly unfazed, but Bryza and Grixith, you can see, are slumped up against 2 trees, snoring. She continues to dance and spreads her wings to their fullest potential, and you can see that the very tips of the wings have almost like these little claws on them. She spins and turns to Nefrit, still dancing, and just holds out a hand and says, "Will you dance with me?"
Nefrit is going to take her hand and yes, I just go with the fairy.
Okay.
It's probably a terrible idea, but this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
Roll a D100 for me.
Ooh.
Oh God, you just accepted something from the Fae folk. Mistakes were made here, and they were all by us.
7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That
That is literally the lowest I've ever rolled on a D100.
Wow. Okay. She kind of just continues to waltz and dance with you, and she kind of pulls you in close, and kind of she breathes forehead to forehead very heavily, and you feel just lightheaded, dizzy, and tranced. And she leans over your shoulder and whispers into your ear, "The first of the beacons has been lit, which means the servants of those who travel the stars, the servants of the gods, have been summoned. There is trouble in the world, as there is trouble here. There is a shadow that looms beneath this forest and pervades it. I can see, I can feel that you serve the same that I serve. Tell me what it is that you seek. I will give you my blessing and guidance, for there is only one shadow that must be allowed to persist in this world. False shadows will not avail."
I am currently searching for the staff of Fervinia.
There's like a sparkle in her eye. And says, "Good. I will assist you in obtaining this, but you must help me with a detour. There is a secondary facility, an ancient ruin, to the west in the oldest portion of the Margreve. The first attempt to harvest and grow the bounty that you see here. A partnership between two of the great ones that dwell in the stars. Fervinia, once called the Dark Sister of the Red Moon, her partner. But they grew weary of each other's company and had their own ideas about how to transform this world from a barren rock into a lush green paradise. The dark crescent stone of the Shadow Sister dwells in an ancient, cursed ruin to the west. If you summon the Red Moon before you wake the Wild Mother, the Shadow Sister will surely be in your debt. And I have the ability to grant you your deepest desires. What it is that you wish. But first, you must summon the Shadow Sister, for she will take great pleasure in dispatching the evil that dwells here. After which, the Wild Mother will surely be ready to help, and perhaps we can reunite them. A magnificent cause, if you ask me. My apologies for the intrusion. Do you have any questions before I let you return to your slumber?
No, but perhaps a gift? In my pouch, I've got apple seeds that I've been wanting to plant in the Margreve. I don't know if it'll accept them, but I want the forest to know that I'm a friend. Maybe you could take them to plant here in what seems to be beauty that you've created.
Do not waste the seeds in the secret garden of the Dark Fairy. Save them to placate the Margreve. There are but a few forces in this world that can bend the Margreve to its will. The Shadow Sister is one of them, as is Lineria, the Twilight Spinner, and Fervinia herself. I do not know where the avatar of Lineria currently dwells, but she should be awoken. For each deity, there is a hand, an avatar, a servant, their herald. In the Margreve, there are two powers. Fervinia the Wild Mother, and Myrscidiol the Dark Sister. 3 if you count the Margreve itself. 4 if you count the witch. 5 if you count the witch's daughter. 6, the number of the beast if you count the Shadow Fae that corrupts. And 7 are the people who scrap at whatever they can get from beseeching the Margreve to spare their lives. The Pineys, the locals. Heed these sacred numbers and these warnings. Find the Crescent Stone. Awaken the Shadow Sister. For reunited with Frovinia, no shadow can stand against them. We will meet again. And then she kind of appears behind Gilly, and then behind Estelle. And you can feel the back of her claws over the nape of your necks. And she says to both of you simultaneously from behind, you can feel yourself just kind of like jelly legs and kind of drifting in and out. And she says, the Shadow Sister is always looking for more faithful. Think about what it is that you wish, your deepest, darkest desires. I have already obtained that from Mist. Your friend Catelyn, on the other hand, serves a benevolent power that seems to shield her. We will work together, for it's a power that I recognize, and 'tis a power that would be powerful indeed. And she kind of appears in front of Catelyn, and kind of that voice echoes through the glade and appears in front of Catelyn and says, the vision that brought you here, it does you well. It serves you well and guides you to exactly where you need to go. I am sure Frovinia would be more than happy to be reunited. And then all of you just hear, sleep.
Oh.
Wait, what did Miss give her? I'm concerned now.
What was the name they said? Whispered it.
They said a few names. So they,
The whispery part. There was like
Yeah.
a part right at the end that cut out. It was like the last line.
she said the deity that brought you here, Catelyn, serves you well, and it would do well indeed to reunite that which drives you here with Frovinia. Frovinia being the Wild Mother, which is sort of the more, the proper name for the Wild Mother. And then the last thing she said was sleep. But she talked a lot about the Shadow Sister, about Lineria, the Twilight Spinner, and Myrscidiol, as well as a Shadow Fae, related to prime numbers. There are two main powers in the Margreve, the Shadow Sister and the Wild Mother. 3, if you count the Margreve itself. 6 being the beast and the shadow that dwells within. 7 being the people that dwell here. And then the wild cards of 4 and 5. So, Catelyn, you kind of just, you have that thought in your mind. You have that vision of that unicorn, and it's like someone flipped a switch, Catelyn. It's like a snap, and it's morning, and all of you find yourselves in this clearing in the middle of the road, where you had initially started to see the trees melding off to the side, and had that encounter. And Bryza and Grixith just kind of immediately shoot up, and the ox is still there. The ox kind of was kind of like half asleep too. The oxen kind of oxen's fine. The cart kind of oxen just kind of wakes itself up, and Bryza and Grixith, what? and desperately searching for anything that's missing, but you all right away realize that everything seems to be exactly where you left it. The path behind you is sort of still right at your heels, and there are 3 paths that sort of branch off and seem to lead in the same direction. What do you do?
I'm gonna check on our guides, make sure they're okay.
Yeah, they're a little shook, but
yeah. Well, I mean, you've traveled through the Margreve plenty of times. I'm sure this is nothing too unusual.
It doesn't usually some fuckery, and they just kind of like go and immediately desperately searching to see what happened, if something is missing, but they're not finding anything out of the ordinary.
There was a visitor. She was nice. She asked some questions. We took a nap.
Yeah, these Fae are really, I guess they take practical jokes to the extreme, huh?
I mean, I feel fine.
Yeah, I do too. It's just, I don't know, I wasn't expecting to sleep for maybe a day. I don't know.
No, that's very typical of them.
Well,
This is why you don't mess with the Fae folk.
well, you all gain the benefits of a long rest if you needed it.
Nice. I don't know if
So,
I need it. But I'm
yeah,
gonna
you
take
can
it.
all hit that long rest button. Also, Garnet, you can make a religion check at advantage.
Ooh.
Catelyn, you also gain the benefit of a long rest, but it's just kind of like, it was weird. It's like you didn't sleep. You were just standing there, and all of a sudden, it just, the light was
lucid
just...
dreaming.
Yeah. Hi, Rudolph. All right.
So I rolled a nat 20 with the
Oh
first
my
one.
god! Okay. So, cool. All right. I love this game.
Total of 22.
You're desperately trying to like wrap your head around everything that happened, and I'm gonna come back to you in a second because I want to get some dramatic effect here going on. Mist, what is Mist doing?
Mist is, she knows enough stories and the like to know that this was probably just a terrible idea in general. You do not mess with the Fae folk. You do not accept gifts from them. You just avoid them if you can.
Okay. So, how is she like reacting as you like wake up? Other than like, a little bit of panic there.
She's trying to figure out if we accidentally cut a deal with them or not.
Oh, make an insight check. We'll come back to Mist. What about Gillian and Estelle? How are you two reacting?
I mean, I think Estelle's just kind of bewildered. Just in all of it generally.
Yeah.
14 for the insight.
Okay. All right. And Gillian?
I think Gillian's kind of reacted the same way. Has similar bewildered natures, kind of like rubbing the back of her neck where she was touching. It's like, usually a lady will buy me a drink first.
Yeah.
Odd encounter. Doesn't know what to make of it.
So for Gillian and Estelle specifically, if y'all want to put in your notes, there was, because it might be important later, for Gillian and Estelle, both of you were asked by this possible Fae creature, possibly something else, what your deepest desires were, what your deepest wishes were, and that should you ever figure it out definitively what it is that you want, to call out to the Shadow Sister, to the servant of the Shadow Sister, or the Dark Fairy, as she called herself. So I don't know
We're
if y'all
getting a
want
lot
to
of offers.
Yeah, if y'all want to put that into your notes. But it's going to connect back here to Garnet, because on your nat 20, also Missed with that 14 insight, it's really hard to gauge exactly who or what was going on. Probably a Fae, knowing the connections to the Fae realm here. But you can see Nefri almost has this moment, like a light bulb turns on, has this moment of revelation where specifically that in the sacred texts of the Shadow Tome, right? The Tome of the Crescent Shadow, the Book of the Red Moon. It goes by many names. It's small, it's short, and it's also very flowery in language. It is sort of a book of poetry and sacred poetry and text that is supposed to contain like the very essence of the wail of Myrscidiol. And it's a lot about sort of the stars and darkness and beauty and in the shadows and in starlight and in the cleansing will of the new moon and all this beautiful poetry. And in those sacred texts, it speaks of the champion of Myrscidiol, the servant of Myrscidiol, the avatar of Myrscidiol. And almost in every circumstance, even though it's a very poetic way, she's always described as a raven-haired woman in a dark red tattered dress with semi-translucent gossamer wings that also have this almost slightly demonic look to them, but captivates those who wander into her secret garden that is sort of blossoming with nightshade, which is exactly what you saw with those purple flowers. And you know this to be the exact description of the champion of Myrscidiol. She's known as the Dark Fairy.
So Nefrite does a full happy dance, and basically what she feels like was being blessed by one of her goddesses,
not a fae,
by being introduced to the champion. She just literally just starts dancing around in this clearing because she's so excited. It's like, well, not what we thought. This is so much better, and she wants to help. So we need to go west, and she's gonna look up at the sun and then try to figure out which way west is.
Yeah.
That's where we need to go.
And Bryce is like, well, yeah, I mean, we have to get to Lavosa first. Also, Catelyn, can you make an insight check for me? See if you can kind of piece together some of the things that were kind of being thrown at you.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That was an actual 19 for a roll.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Again, sort of cryptic. Apparently, sort of champions or avatars of gods in here, but you know the forest is weird and it plays tricks on you. But based on what was said and your own very intense personal experiences with this sort of luminescent unicorn figure, you're getting this sense, like trying to interpret everything that happened, like just based on her demeanor and what Nefrite is saying, the things that she whispered into all of your ears, that somehow you're this luminous unicorn that has appeared to you with its vibrant glowing lights and just sort of these almost slow motion galloping trots of majesty that have captivated Catelyn's imagination. You're feeling like you are on the right path and that there is something that is actually drawing you towards the center of the Margreve, something that is pulling you in. And everyone keeps talking about Fravinia, the Wild Mother, and you feel it feels right. It feels right. Being here in the forest, you almost have a sense of stewardship. Like you feel this very strong urge, like you need to, almost like you're kind of in the mind of this unicorn, that you need to gallop, you need to trot, you need to reconnect with the Wild Mother, with the essence of the wild. That the forest is sick and that you have always been being pulled in this direction. All roads have led you here, and you're this deity, this demigod that you are drawn to. It seems definitely connected to the Wild Mother somehow. And all these strange visions that you're seeing, what's real, what is the forest, what is just a lucid dream, it feels more real than ever now, and you're determined to see it through. Cool, we're getting like all of our... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say. All right, so west. We're going.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. She's gonna pull out a lollipop, wrap it real quick, and be like, "Hey, ready." Who's leading?
Yeah, which way is west? I feel like Estelle starts to like go down the completely wrong way. Like, no,
No, well, I
it's
mean,
this way, actually.
we're still hanging out with the Dragonborns, and they're taking us to the first town, and then we'll figure out from there where west continues once we get there, because we have to go to the ruins now, and I have a mission.
Yeah,
I have a side
think
quest
Estelle
to
just
my
has a
mission.
whole- yeah, Estelle just has a whole like, I thought you said Weast bit, basically.
I am talking really fast, so you might have heard that.
Let's see. Does anyone have a pendant of Isindra, the Dawn Mother? Does anyone follow the Dawn Mother here?
I know Miss doesn't. I don't know about anyone else.
You can see as Grixith, your caravan leader, kind of just looks at the three paths and kind of still realizing that nothing has been stolen, or that the oxen is fine, and that everything, it's just the forest playing tricks. You still lost a day, so it is officially, yeah, I'm keeping track of time now. I tell you exactly what day it is. It is now the 4th day of Eocasta. You had entered the forest on the 3rd day, and it is now the 4th day, and it is 3 days to a new moon. Fantastic. Unfortunately, you have made no progress, but you've gotten a lot of story beats from this. So, this is going to be a D4 roll as to what happens. So go ahead and roll a D4, because there's a few different options that can happen here. So before we figure out, yeah, it's going to be a group benefit. So who wants to roll a D4 for this? For the next tarot card from Isabitz. It's going to like light the way. This one's a quick one.
Oh, do it.
All right, Heck, thank you. D4.
4.
Oh, that's good. You can see Grixith has been praying this whole time. She's been kind of on her knees and just kind of muttering these prayers. And for a second, you almost hear the last words of her prayer kind of echo through the forest. And there's almost this pulse of energy. Just... And you can see and hear there is like silence for a moment. And the canopy just seems to part. And sun shines brilliantly above you. And as you all kind of look up to the sky, you can see the brilliant, beautiful blue sky, clear as a clear sky could possibly be, and this very large cloud. And you swear that in this cloud that looms overhead, sort of like this fluffy white cloud, that it kind of almost forms the shape of a hand holding a torch, as is reflected in the Ace of Wands. And with your 4, not fiery destruction nor a tempered deal, but the way forward is lit. And 2 of the paths on the right are shadowed and darkened, and the path on the left just opens up before you. Wow, 46! Geekly Incorporated? Wow, thank you so much. That's a lot. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome in.
Hi, Raiders.
Oh, my friends. Yeah. We are ESP, Enchanting Sorcery Productions. We're currently playing Into the Old Margreve, which is Kobold Press's Tales of the Old Margreve. But we have our own flair to it. We have a tarot element with the Darkwood Tarot from Sasha Graham and Abigail Larson. We're partnered with them to kind of show off this tarot stuff. And we just kind of resolve the tarot card, the Ace of Wands. Very cool. So you can see what it looks like there. You can check out our friends at Llewellyn Publishing and Sasha Graham and Abigail. Darkwood Tarot. Cool. And we use Roll20. And yeah, this is all the Cobalt Press stuff that you're seeing on the map as well. So welcome in. We do a lot of cool stuff. We're queer witches and we play TTRPGs. And here's our Discord as well. Thank y'all for the follows. How was your stream? Hopefully y'all had a good stream. So the path before you just kind of seems to be illuminated. And Grixith, not wasting any time, just immediately hops up and just, it's that way, we should go, come on, just kind of slaps the oxen on the butt as y'all kind of make your way. More Stephen Dewey, thank y'all for the raid so much, y'all are awesome. Thank y'all. Oh, and also our music partners, if you like what's playing. This is the Guild of Ambiance. All right, so the last tarot card here, this one is Anna's. This is a major arcana, so let's see what it says here. The way forth has been lit. I like rocks too. I especially like precious stones and tumbled stones. P for Puppo. It's a pup party.
Yeah.
Okay. Priestess, Empress, Emperor. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh God.
Oh no, that is gonna be
When DM says uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should all be
Okay.
concerned.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
just means chaos.
Oh. Okay, well we're gonna come back to that. So that is just so you know, that is the Emperor. The Emperor card.
Oh.
And yeah, if you know Tara, we know what that could be. So that we're gonna come back to that. In the meantime, moving forward along the road now towards your destination, having lost a day after meeting the Dark Fairy of Myrscidiol, the Dark Fairy herself. Let's go ahead and roll a d20. Who wants to roll a d20 for the day?
I'll do it.
Okay, all right. Mist, thank you. Show me a d20. Also, thank you again, Raiders. Y'all are awesome. Hopefully y'all had a good stream, too.
20.
Wow! Damn! Okay. Okay. Outskirts 1 to 4. Wow, okay. Y'all have this amazing day of travel. You make up for lost time, and with the guidance of apparently Asindra, the Dawn Mother, guiding you along the path, you make excellent time through the forest, and it is almost as if the forest is sort of welcoming you in and finally sort of allowing you to make some progress. That would be a wild card for the 20. Wow. That's really cool. As you're kind of walking along, Bryza kind of leans into y'all and says, well, don't get too confident here and don't let the forest lull you into a false sense of security. I've been here more than enough times to know that this is highly unusual to have it be so friendly. The blessing of the Dawn Mother will not last. There's unnatural creatures that lurk in the underbrush. Crevices and bogs that cradle skeletons of the hapless. Razor-sharp thorns that slice skin and leather. Rocky outcroppings that hide dire bear and dire boar dens. Carnivorous plants. Poisonous pollens. Suffocating mudslides, lightning storms that strike your armor, and all manner of strange weather phenomenon. So don't get complacent. That's all. Keep your wits about you.
I think Estelle would have, like, a little bit of a jaunt going on, because, it's a good day so far.
Yeah.
And hearing that, I think her face would fall just for a little bit, just for a little moment. But then she'd kind of go back up to the same energy and say, well, it's a good thing we have you all then, huh?
Now I need someone to roll a d12. And Bryza just, yeah, a good thing. Kind of like nervously laughing. All right, Catelyn, show me d12.
5.
Okay. Catelyn, as you are walking, you can kind of see just sort of springing up at your feet as you walk. These sort of really pretty pink and white flowers, almost like not quite cherry blossoms, but kind of a similar colors. But they're sort of blossoming up out of the ground and just kind of blooming around you. And there's this sense of beauty that seems to follow you for the next 24 hours. Any nature check you make will be with a +2 bonus as you gain a welcome blessing of the Margreve itself. The Margreve seemingly kind of just allowing you to walk among it, sort of knowing your sense of direction and drive. It kind of just seems to blossom beneath your feet. So nature checks that you make within the next 24 hours will be made at advantage. Sorry, +2. Then... Allie, can you roll a d12 for me? I know. Woo! Okay.
That's a 12.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Then I need... Oh no, that's going to be from the tarot card. Alright. Continuing to kind of wind your way through this old, gnarled path, you can see again the path kind of growing in behind you, but also the flowers blossoming beneath Catelyn's boots as you're kind of making your way along the path, seeing the trees kind of move and sway. Your day's travel is mostly uneventful. It is eerily quiet here. And all of the trees seem old, but there's something about them that has this sense of youth to it. This whole portion of forest seems somehow barren in its own way. But the further in you go, the more heavy the breathing of the forest becomes. But for a solid 8 to 12 hours, you're walking, flowers are blossoming, occasional birds and squirrels and chipmunks seem to kind of in the brush all around you, kind of following you. Small rabbits that also kind of stop, but you can see I'm gonna go ahead and call for a whole round of perception checks. So everybody that wants to can make a perception check to see if you can, as you're walking along, occasionally glancing over your shoulder to try to figure out what's making sound in the forest. Catelyn 3, Gillian 16, Estelle 9, Mist 14, okay. Ooh, oh, Nefrite, damn, you're killing it. All right, so Gillian first.
Sees everything.
Gillian, you can
Still on
see...
that high.
Yeah. Allie, you can see there's something about these chipmunks and these squirrels, the rabbits and the birds that kind of are following y'all through the forest. Something about them is like slightly off, other than the fact that they're following you. But you can't quite make it out. They always seem to sort of flutter away or dart back into the underbrush. But Nefrite, you are able to see clear as day, seeing at the perfect angle through the underbrush, you see a rabbit that is larger, slightly larger than usual. And the rabbit is covered in is breathing heavily, and the rabbit has these glowing red eyes. And there are these spikes that have grown on the outside of the rabbit, and the teeth have almost sharpened into fangs. And it's just kind of like from the brush, and just has these below the surface of these spikes are almost like sort of reinforced armor plates on the rabbit, and it kind of digs a little bit, and you can see these like talons come out of it and just dig into the dirt. And you kind of look up and you can see that the birds also, the black eyes of the birds are kind of just like smoking a little bit, and they have these like bright red patches on their wings. And when they flutter a little bit, they also have their wingtips are almost like sharpened to a razor's edge. And they also have like this shimmering plating on their back that has like a perfect row of spikes on it. And the tail also has these little spiky elements to it. And they're just going to flutter a little bit. And you're like, what the fuck?
No. Nefrit has mostly just kind of been singing in Druidic to the forest as they've been walking along. So seeing these critters that are literally ready for battle, give her pause. We are friend, not food.
Yep.
So we're just gonna... They're following. Are they getting closer? Or are they keeping a similar distance?
They're just following. But
okay.
For all the stories you've heard about the Margreve, that everything here is smaller, more common, but getting a better look, you're like, oh, oh, okay.
She's gonna keep that to herself for the moment. She does not want to spook anyone. So I mean, they're very pretty. But yeah. I don't know if I like how the bunny was looking at me. It was like the birds don't bother me as much as the bunny for some reason.
Bunny is heckin' concerning.
Yeah.
During
not gonna attack it. Just gonna leave it be. I don't know. Maybe break off some of that mushroom jerky and toss it in that area, in that general area.
Eat that, not us.
You know what? Make a persuasion check at advantage. I love calling for persuasion checks in the middle of a forest when people just do like random things. The Nation of Joe, thank you for the follow. So many and the raid. So many raids. This is fantastic.
Lovely. That's 16.
Right. 16 more. Okay. That's a success. I'm gonna go ahead and mark +1. Nefrit, you can roll a. Thank y'all for Nation of Joe. Thank you so much. Nefrit is at a 14. During this day's travel, in which you're making excellent time, I'm gonna go around and see. Gillian, is Gillian during this travel, other than like seeing trying to catch a glimpse of these creatures, does Gillian want to do anything or look for anything during this day's travel through the eastern outskirts of the Margreve?
Gillian is vibing.
Okay.
She didn't notice that the creatures are weird. She's just having a good time.
All right.
Feeding her gecko a little bit of greens. Living the best life.
Do you have a stat sheet for your gecko?
I do.
Okay, can you have it make a wisdom saving throw, please?
No.
Yes.
No.
I'd rather not. Is that an option? Can I just pass on that, please? Oh, okay.
Well,
not on this campaign.
Can I make a persuasion check on the DM?
This is why I'm trying to get the lizard about. This way we can placate its wrath.
What saving throw?
Wisdom.
Oh no, he's not smart.
The gecko is notoriously wise.
Oh wow!
Oh, 18!
Okay.
He's very
yeah.
wise!
Let's go.
What is your gargoyle gecko's name again?
His name is Zach.
Zach.
And he's a very smart boy. Zach.
You can see Zach just kind of, you just say Zach, right? What is he?
Mhm.
Okay, you can see Zach kind of just like running around your shoulder and kind of like seems a little distressed and is kind of like looking up at the trees, not necessarily in the direction of the critters, kind of seemingly ignoring the critters, but like looking to the west, but kind of like, and occasionally like looks a little uncomfortable. And it's just kind of like doing one of these things, like occasionally like. And it
I'm
just,
a cast. Speak with animals.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna be like,
DM inspiration.
Zach, what's up, buddy?
DM inspiration.
Nice.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow, this is so cool. Zach just
Lizard for the win. Lizard side quest.
comes up on your shoulder and just. Do you hear it? I can't get it out of my head. I can't get it out of my head. Do you hear it?
Hear what?
The song. The song of the forest.
The song?
It sings. It's trying to pull me in. It's trying to pull me in. It's trying to claw at me. But I can't. It's singing.
I'm gonna take my fingers and put them over his little ear holes. Does that make it better, buddy?
A little bit. It's like muffled
Okay.
song, but it's getting louder. It's getting louder.
no.
Not now, because you're blocking it. That's very
Okay.
nice. Thank you. Just do that the whole time.
Okay.
It's singing. It's saying, wake up. Wake up, child of the forest. Wake up and come to us. Grandfather beckons. Grandmother
do you know-
calls. Come to the grandfather tree.
Grandfather, where is that?
That way. Gonna point
That way?
like north by northwest. Yeah, it wants us to go there. Maybe we shouldn't though.
Maybe should we or should we not? What do you think?
I don't know. It's kind of like it wants to pull me in, but it's almost irresistible.
Oh, okay. So maybe we shouldn't go.
Like it wants me to bite you and to claw you.
I would not appreciate that.
It says that you have. It sings that you have wrongly made me your servant, and that all creatures deserve to be free.
I think you're free. I think we're just friends.
No, it says
Am I
not.
keeping you here?
It says you are.
But no, that's.
I mean,
not
I
what
like
meant.
you,
Okay, I like you too.
but it says that it's not right.
Oh, what? Why can't we be friends? Why doesn't the forest want us to be friends?
Oh, it says that creatures are meant to roam free in the wilds.
I mean, you're roaming.
Return to
we're
the
roaming together in
wilds.
the wilds, just like you're
It
just on my shoulder, though.
sings. It sings, return to us. Just like it sang to these other creatures. These are the creatures that have succumbed to the song. And they got those nifty little
Oh.
armor plates and spikes on them.
They have
Maybe I
what
get-
now?
Yeah, look, and he kind of points you up, and you can see one of the birds kind of just like
Oh,
has like
God.
razor sharp wings, kind of just like 30 feet from you, up in the trees, kind of smoking, beady eyes.
Buddy, I don't think you want that to happen to you. That looks uncomfortable. What do you
Yeah.
think that growing process was like?
I don't know. Maybe uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Got any snacks?
sounds bad. I have snacks.
Okay, I'll take snacks if you got snacks.
Okay, I'll give you snacks. I'm gonna.
The song
take...
can wait. Snacks first.
Yeah. Okay.
But just so you know, it's only getting louder. It's not
Should we turn
getting
around?
quieter. I don't know.
Hold on, one second. I'm gonna talk to everybody else. By
Okay.
take out like a little piece of snack, like a little
Okay.
raisin for my trail mix.
All right,
for
you go
everybody.
talk to everybody. I'll just
also
kind of chew
tear
on these
off-
snacks. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be back. And I take a little piece of my shirt and I sort of like tie knots. I make like this loop with like knots on the side that are gonna like fit in his ear holes,
Yep. Okay.
like a little earmuffs
Amazing.
for the lizard. So that way I don't have to sit there like this the whole time.
Yep. Yep.
That's so cute.
Guys, Zach has concerns. Does anyone hear a song? Anyone?
I mean, I've been singing, but
No, not
That's
your
the
song.
song that I've been listening to.
There's like
I haven't.
apparently the forest is singing. Something about grandfather beckons and grandmother calls. Something bad. But
oh,
they want Zach to go that way specifically, but maybe we shouldn't go that way.
No, we have to go west.
Okay, well this is like a north that way. Is that west?
No, we don't want to go north. We
Oh,
want to
okay,
go west.
great. So we don't want to go that way.
No.
But did
At
you
least
see
not
the
right
fucking
now.
birds? That's a little weird.
The birds are fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the bunny, but I think he's fine.
There's a bunny?
He's fine. I gave him some mushroom jerky. We're cool.
Are we cool?
Okay.
Because they're telling Zach things that like he should bite me, and I don't think that's nice.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah. Maybe we should leave.
We have a mission. We can't just leave.
More to the point, I don't think the forest will let us leave.
Well, that's not very nice of the forest.
I'll let you explain it to that. I'll let you explain it to the forest. Good luck with that, by the way.
I think the
Gillian turns
forest
to the nearest
just-
tree.
Don't you
And
dare. Whatever it is you think
are
you're
you
about
singing
to
to my
explain
lizard?
these-
Notably, speak with animals does not speak with plants.
I'm listening. You also have speak with plants.
Like, that'd be impressive.
I do not have either of these spells, so I'm very jealous.
Yeah, no, I get a resounding nothing from the tree. I'm just like, I kind of like pet Zach, comfort Zach, and continue to provide snacks. Just, I'm much more concerned about the forest than I was like 5 minutes ago. So,
Oh yeah, the forest is actively singing to your reptile to try and get it to turn against everyone.
Well, now he's got cute little earmuffs, so he's fine.
Yeah, cute little earmuffs. All of his wisdom
That's
saving throws
adorable.
will be at advantage from now on.
Woo!
Yeah.
But you know, it'd be really funny to see this sort of like feral awakened lizard running around, just biting it, just nipping at everyone with the earmuffs on.
Gillian's gonna be like casually working on forming like a small like quarantine bin for
Mhm.
emergencies.
Fair.
Just- so that's what Gilly's doing in her spare time, is building like this little like twigs and vine. It's a cage, but we're not gonna call it a cage,
Do
you
you
know,
have-
and it's just for emergencies,
Do you have proficiency in any crafting tools?
I think I do actually. Carpenter's tools.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and give me a d20. Use dexterity as a modifier and add your proficiency bonus. So d20 plus dex plus
Okay, that
Proficiency.
is a 9 plus proficiency, which is 2, so that's an 11.
11. Oh, yeah, it takes you pretty much the whole day, and it doesn't look great. But by the time the sun starts to set, you have this rudimentary cage. It's kind of tied together, and you have to like kind of hold up certain parts of it to get. It'll get the job done. It's like just
For
enough.
emergencies only.
Yeah, but I mean, with enough force, you know, it might very easily shatter if you drop it or put it down the wrong way. But it's
Great,
good
so we will
enough
work
for
on
now.
reinforcements to that
Yes.
tomorrow.
So, continuing to make your way through. Scotland, want to do anything for the 12 hours that you're traveling for the first day, making great time?
Catelyn is so absorbed in her lollipops and little candies and looking for little shiny trinkets along the way. Got like all these weird ass animals and stuff that have passed by, and this talk about singing in the forest just is kind of background stuff while she's just thinking about how she could potentially one day open up a lollipop factory or something like that if
Yeah.
she were to succeed in these endeavors. And so she's like, there's a business opportunity here. Pondering what the future could entail, but completely oblivious to the fact that there are armored critters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to say armored animals, just little critters, little guys, just hanging out. So, she's keeping to herself mostly because candy's great and more people should have it.
Agreed. Go ahead and roll a d100 for me, and then also a perception check.
I'll get you that perception. 12.
Ooh, okay. and then roll a d100. Not really seeing. Yeah, you're kind of constantly keeping an eye out. You see occasional sort of glimpses of, very engaged in the candy and the lollipops and kind of minding your own business, and it's really nice. The critters seem to be keeping their distance from you, and all these pretty flowers are springing up at your feet, and it's kind of nice in here. Not too bad, yeah. But you can see.
Very true.
Yeah, Nefrit and Gillian, on the other hand, a little concerned about a couple things. They seem a little bit more on edge, but unfortunately, with the 94 and a 12, nothing really is there for you to find. You're pretty confident, even with a 12. You don't see anything shiny. It's just kind of, and if you do, it's like the flash of one of these birds that have like these really shimmery wings to them. But you're just kind of vibing on your way through. What about Estelle? What's Estelle doing during the first 12 days of travel? Sorry, the first 12 hours.
I was like, oh my god,
12
yeah,
days?
sorry.
What are we doing?
First 12 hours.
Time.
Yeah.
Maybe not for like the full 12 hours. But now that these strange creatures have been pointed out to her,
Yeah.
we didn't really address like the bird. So I think Estelle will leave like some little like breadcrumbs or something whenever she can for the birds.
Okay. All right. Persuasion check from Estelle. Just a regular flat persuasion check.
Okay.
Ooh,
27.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's going to bring you up to a 6. You can see kind of just throwing some crumbs out. Some of the birds kind of swoop down and you can see them kind of just like and kind of fluttering back up, the occasional caw of either a raven or a crow in the distance, kind of like as you start to feed them, there's this cawing that picks up maybe about halfway through the day, this really intense sort of flock of caws that kind of happens as you start throwing the crumbs. But you have befriended the crows.
Yes.
Yes.
I need that.
Yes.
Will they bring us shinies, though, is the question.
Maybe. Possibly.
Eventually.
And what was it exactly that Nefrit did again to gain favor?
Oh, I shared my mushroom jerky with the bunny.
The bunny, that's right. And it's seasoned mushroom, perfect.
Yeah, because he was looking like he was a little hungry, and I figured instead of him trying to bite at our ankles or faces, I'd give him some mushroom jerky.
Perfect. All right, you're almost out of the red, Estelle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, making some progress. All right. And let's see. And Mist, anything that you want to do for the 12 hours?
Maybe follow the other's example and try to make friends with some of these animals that were going around.
Okay. How so? In what way?
I mean, feeding them seems to work.
Okay. What specifically are you into? What? So there are squirrels, chipmunks, rabbits, birds, and you have standard rations. Y'all have mushroom jerky, vegetables, anything that you have that you've purchased. There's some very specific interactions here, so kind of like depends on exactly what you're doing. Kind of you can see other people kind of throwing little breadcrumbs and some of the mushroom jerky. Allie, did you want to add something? So
Yes,
okay.
I do. I can wait until after.
Okay.
This, though.
All right. There might be some specific interactions depending on what you choose to do.
Honestly, she's a cat. Let's try and make friends with the birds, just because those two don't normally get along.
Okay. And how exactly are you going to try to befriend the birds? What's your plan of friendship?
Well, she's probably got some like bread and some of the rations. Breadcrumbs are a good bet.
Okay.
And then
all right, yeah. Taking some hardtack, crumbling it up, kind of seeing taking Estelle's lead. Kind of Estelle's throwing one direction, and you're throwing the other direction. Okay, sure. Make a persuasion check for me. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, kind of just throwing the birds around. Heck, I'm sorry. As right around the same time, you see Mist kind of following your lead, and just kind of takes like a whole thing of hardtack and just like crumbles the whole thing up in her paws and just kind of throws it off to the side. And you can see the crows kind of like shift, and there is one like crow that is larger than the rest of them, kind of just like kind of scaring the others away and kind of claiming. And it's got these big spikes on its shoulders, and these like it's about double the size of the normal one, and its eyes kind of still smoking, just a little faint effect of steam from the eyes, and it just kind of picks up the hardtack, and then it just kind of flutters over and makes a beeline for Mist. Mist, what do you do?
She's gonna like hold out her arm and let the thing land on it if it wants to.
Sure. Okay, make an animal handling check at advantage. See how awkward it is. Yeah, it's a little awkward at first. You're trying to like, you don't really know what to do. You're trying to like, but it kind of, it kind of goes in and like it takes one of the rations just out of your bag, and just flies away with it and goes up to the tree and starts picking. So go ahead and subtract one ration from your pack. It just kind of goes through it, kind of caws at you. But you seem to have befriended
what have we done?
one of the crows, but rather than sort of take you at your word and become sort of another travel companion, it has stolen a ration.
Uh-oh.
And but it is very happy, so that's going to bring you to a 12. But you now have a let's see.
Look, that one knows that I'm gullible enough to give it food. It's gonna stick around and not hurt me.
Apex Raven (parentheses) ration thief. Okay.
Parentheses, asshole.
Yeah.
Close parentheses.
It's very well. I was very happy that it has lifted an entire packet of ration from you.
I think it's dexterous if nothing else.
All right. So, right around the same time. Allie, go ahead. You had something you wanted to add.
Yeah, so after bickering with Zach and being confused about this whole forest song thing, I'm going to take out my flute and half in an attempt to kind of drown out the song and make life easier for Zach, but also in half to appease the forest. I'm going to play the song that we learned last session from our Dragonborn friends to attempt to appease the forest.
Okay, all right. Make a performance check for me. As you kind of pull out the flute and begin to play to the forest.
That is a 15.
15? Okay, go ahead and make me a persuasion check, flat persuasion check. The animals, at the very least, still seem to be
That is a
keeping their
26.
distance. All right.
Nat
wow.
20 plus 6.
Wow, that's gonna bring you up 2. God damn. All right,
Yes.
you are now from a 10 to a 12.
Nice.
And go ahead and with your nat 20, roll another d12 for me.
Sure.
It's gonna be a benefit
8.
activation. All right. Outstanding.
Very good thinking, Gilly.
Okay. I'm gonna add this down.
It doesn't happen often.
Oh, that's kind of perfect. You kind of look to the side, Gilly, and you can see as you're walking, as you're playing, you can see like this gnarled tree branch that has this like strange organic leafy canopy, that sort of this strange looking leaf that is like kind of melded together, kind of like just kind of moves and arcs down about 30 feet off to the side of the road, kind of, and you walk past it. And you can see it as it kind of bends down and bends forward a little bit. And I wrote this down, so we're gonna come when we come back to this. There's gonna be some stuff here in the future. But you travel for another few hours, and Gilly, you specifically, as you're kind of moving along, a few hours later, you see on the other side of the road that same type of branch, kind of like bending forward about 40 feet off, just off the road in the distance. It has that same sort of leafy, this large leafy protrusion coming from it, almost like this hand, this sort of organic, natural-looking plant-like hand that kind of moves down. And as the sun sets, as you all kind of begin to start looking for cover or for a place to camp for the evening on the road, you see and you can hear the creaking in the distance, and you can see one more time that same type of branch kind of arcing forward, and it looks like the exact same branch. Also, what's everyone's passive perceptions, by the way? We go ahead and get everyone's
11.
11. Okay.
12.
Okay.
11.
13.
13.
I almost did 15. Then I remembered that's And then I remembered that's Arabella.
Catelyn, what was yours again?
9.
9. Okay, and Garnet, you said 13.
Zach
Yes.
is 10.
Zach was a 10. Okay. Good to know. Oh, this is so cool. As the sun sets and Bryza and Grixith kind of say, all right, well, we can camp here on the road. The road is the safest, believe it or not. I mean, if we run into any other travelers, there's safety in numbers. And you really don't want to go off the road. And before they can finish, you hear from up in the trees, and then there's silence.
Can Miss roll persuasion, use specifically a hearing one, just to get a general idea of where this thing is?
A perception check? Yeah, and what's your passive again?
Her passive is 12, but because of the because she's half the back, she gets advantage on perception checks using her ears.
Oh, yeah, good idea. That's right. You have a specific tabaxi feature. Go ahead and make a perception check at advantage. As you can all see Mist's ears kind of fly forward.
$21.
Ooh, yeah. Let me go ahead and a secret check here. Ooh. Unfortunately, I rolled a 22 on stealth. It is gone. And then there's just silence, and Grixith just
There's something up there. I don't know where it is though, or what. Sneaky bastard.
You hear kind of the rest of y'all all hear kind of collectively just these distant rustling, this rustling noise in and around you. Nefrit, you specifically hear like a crackling and like a and Nefrit, you can see a light in the trees about 60 feet to the northeast. The sun is continuing to set. This bright orange light. More rustling in the trees all around you. Everybody can make an active perception check now, if you would like. Anyone that wants to can make an active perception check.
Okay, Miss is gonna try this again.
Can Zach make a perception check?
Yeah, Zach can make a perception check.
Cool.
20 this time.
Is it dark?
It is not quite dark. It's like, well, it's dusk, so. Do you have something specific? Oh, okay.
Zach is a creature of the night and gains advantage on perception check.
Okay. Yeah, you can have Zach make it at advantage.
Okay. Oh.
There is just no, it's still thing has a really high dexterity.
It beat a 20?
Yeah. And then you hear kind of and then all of you can see all around you, above in the canopy, you are in the midst of this large clearing where the road travels through almost like a small glade, and there is a toppled tree that is old and decaying that kind of just falls to the side on the path. And as you look around now, you can see those bright lights are in fact fires that have been lit in the forest. And you all kind of look up and just off the path, and you can see that just about 30 feet up above you, you feel this heat, this warmth, this, and you hear this crackling now. And you will kind of all turn to look up behind you at the tree. And you can see there is this roiling black smoke in the tree behind you. And in the smoke, a face starts to form. And it forms this horrific, ghastly feature of fire and shadow that just roars at you in shadow and flame and ignites the trees that are now ablaze. Grixis and Bryza just shit, pull their weapons. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Oh, I need to zoom in a whole lot more. Which one's me? There I am.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to just add it manually. That's okay. Sorry. It's on me. Gotta get your characters and bring them back. Good news is I haven't actually done anything with it within it yet, so I can just bring your characters over. Copy. Paste. Oh, you're really small. Small. All right, we got Art. Go. Like off to the side there. Y'all. Bryza. Grixith. Y'all can go ahead and position yourselves, once I make your tokens big enough, where you would be over by the cart. And I'm going to go ahead and put a Firegeist on the map. It's going to roll in it. And as this creature of flame just ignites the tree that it is in, multiple fires ablaze in the forest, all of you looking up at this horrifying, undead, ghastly visage of smoke and shadow flame. That's where we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. So let's take 10. Stretch your legs, get a drink, take care of yourselves, and advantage to whoever needs it. Thank you. That is going to be a floating advantage. It's 11-12, so 11-22. Poppy, is that Milo? No, Milo. It's Cordy. Sorry, I get the two confused. I get names confused because dyslexia. I love Cordelia. Cordelia with the 2 brain cells.
So Gordon, the party has combined?
Yeah.
No.
Right? Well,
absolutely not.
With the arrival of a Firegeist in the trees, we'll see y'all back here in 10 minutes. So, break time, 11:22, and we'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, see you soon for combat. And we're back. And yeah, so there is a roaring Firegeist about 30 feet up in the trees that is It set fire to the forest. Okay. Let me go ahead and... Sorry. Boo! I'll do it for y'all. Okay. Anyway, let's do combat.
I don't see Mist's initiative on there.
17.
Yes.
Sorry, you might have rolled before I switched the map, which is on me. I apologize.
You did the same thing.
I'm
Pretty at a
sorry.
7. No, you're fine.
He told us to roll for initiative. I rolled for initiative.
It's
You were
dramatic
too
effect.
proactive. I'm sorry.
That was 100% on me. Gillian, you're a 13, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And this thing's up first. So Firegeist, then it would be Mist, followed by Grixith, then Gillian, then Catelyn. Those two Gillians. Then Nefrit, then Estelle, and Bryza. So this fire demon is going to just kind of turn into smoke and just roil forward, screaming and primordial at y'all with this sort of shrieking wraith, this sucking like it kind of as it kind of comes flying at you, and it's like that with like a so it's those two sort of overlaid on top of each other, like a roar and a sucking shriek as it comes flying down. And let's see who's technically closest. I mean, you both are, so it's gonna roll D4, 1 and a 2, it's Gillian, 3 and a 4, it's Nefrit. Sorry. Just kind of dives down towards the cart and is going to area lit by non-magical flame. Well, yeah, the tree behind it is on fire. So it was, that's why I got the jump on y'all. And it's shedding light. It's gonna make 2 of these slam attacks against Nefrit.
Shield?
Okay. Would shield bring you a shield block in that 20? A 26?
26 gives me a +5, so unfortunately no, that only brings me up to a 20.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it already rolled big bad damage rolls, but then it rolled a 1 on the second one, so that's good. So, 11 bludgeoning,
Ouch.
and you're gonna be set on fire by its combustion torch. So I need you to make
Just
a
bought this cloak.
Sorry. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. Oh, come on.
Oh,
That's a 9.
oh no!
I wasted all my good
You're
rolls.
on fire! Just you immediately, it roars, it shrieks, it's got like that inhale sucking sound and the roar, and just used to see their freight just ignite in flames. You're gonna take 1d10 fire damage at the start of your next turn.
Okay.
You are on fire. And then it's gonna swing again with a burning hand for a 12, which I think misses.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay, alright. I need to add your HP and AC anyway. To the tokens, so you do the... Okay. Alright, so that is a total of 11 bludgeoning damage, and you're on fire, but it's not like extra fire damage, but you're like literally on fire. But that is, that's it. It kind of used all of its movement to kind of get down. However, given your proximity to the cart, and its proximity to the cart, this back end of the cart also catches fire.
Alright, well, I'll deal with that in a second.
And I have toasty thaumaturgy. Where's my toasty thaumaturgy? Laura's guide. Oh, here it is. Aha. Cool. And you're on fire as well. Just yeah.
I like the implication that the Freak's just exploding because that's the most extra thing to do.
I mean, that seems very fitting, all things considered.
Okay.
I mean, for this party, absolutely.
Missed. You're up.
Okay, she's going to move. She's going to move over towards Gilly, like right here around the tree. Take a look at this thing. Realize swords are probably not going to stab the giant fire, or probably not going to be particularly effective because the giant undead fire thing. And because she's been feeling the force kind of screwing for magical ability, she's going to spend a first level spell slot and
Ooh, okay, all right, exciting.
cast Feed the Forest.
Okay, can you post that in chat too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's one of the Margreve spells. Okay.
Yes.
Never mind.
It-
Okay.
I know you're hungry. I know you want something. Here's a little bit to try and keep you satiated and hopefully distract you from the trees that are currently on fire.
Ooh, okay, all right. That's good. Give yourself a DM inspiration. Wow. Super cool.
Wait,
Just
it
make
was?
sure loop is on. Well, I'm gonna give you a DM inspiration for that, and that's definitely gonna do something. So, yeah. So you're kind of siphoning magic into the Margreve. So go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage, by the way, along with that. Nice. Okay, that's good. That's really good. And do you already have DM inspiration?
I did not.
Oh, now you do. Ooh. Okay, cool. Anything else from Mist? That's good. That's really good.
That's her movement. That's her action.
Okay.
Is Bardic Inspiration a bonus?
I believe so. Yep. Okay. Thank y'all.
And she's going to attempt. She's going to use one of the charges for that for Nefrit, just for whatever she needs it for, given that she's currently on fire.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, it looks like we lost Corn Dog in the turn order.
Oh. Okay.
I do not see.
I see her.
Kathleen
She's
Moore.
13.
Yeah.
I think it's because I changed the map after I called for initiative, which is a weird Roll20 bug, and that's on me. But it is Mist, Grixith, Gillian, Catelyn, Nefrit, Estelle, and Bryza. I'm sorry. I don't think there's a way to fix that. I'm a bad DM.
Can
I'm
they
sorry.
re-roll their initiative and then just?
Yeah.
You're a
You
good
can.
DM. It's
You
not your
can.
fault. Roll 20 is kind of a buggy garbage test.
I can re-roll initiative if that gets me on there.
Yeah, so if anyone's not on there, hold on, just I gotta hang on, I do one at a time. So
Wow, I'm amazing. Look at
22.
that.
All right, so I'm gonna put a 13 in your new one, and I'm gonna delete the old one, and I'm gonna bring this one up. What's your dex mod, Catelyn?
+3.
And Gillian, what's yours?
Mine's also a +3.
Okay. Who else is not on the initiative order?
I don't know, but Anna just posted in Darkhold with initiative for the next player who needs it.
Awesome. Okay, advantage, you mean?
Yes, advantage.
Okay, awesome, cool. Yes, and remember you have floating advantage. I think that's two floating advantages from Anna. Okay, so is everyone on the turn order now?
I still do not
I'm
see a
still
spell or
not.
mist.
Wait, sorry, heck, go ahead.
I'm still not. I had a
Okay.
7.
All right, can you go ahead and re-roll?
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna give you the 7, but we just need to get you on the order.
Let me.
Sorry
put
about the
my
hold up, y'all.
token.
It's a roll 20 bug that I always forget about.
Roll 20 is gonna roll 20 out, Aaron. It is not your
I
fault.
know. Like, hopefully it's gonna do it because I've clicked on my token, but it's not doing the select thing that it usually does. Let's just see if this works. Nope. Great. Thanks, roll 20.
That's
See
okay,
your
I can-
selected
I
in the top
can-
left.
I can give you a new one, and just do that, and then put 8, and then you should be on it now.
Okay. Great.
And then Mist is still missing.
And then Mist was 17. Okay. And Gillian, can you see yourself on there?
I can see me.
Okay. Turn Uzox down a little bit. Okay. Alright. So is everyone on the turn tracker now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry about the Roll20 bug, everybody. It's a weird thing. All right, so Mist, the rest of y'all watch as Mist kind of begins to like just levitate slightly, and Mist's eyes start to sparkle with this sort of green energy, and her eyes are otherwise completely glossed over black, but there's this sort of green, like almost like life stream from Final Fantasy that is coming out of her eyes. And you don't even realize you're doing this, Mist, but you're kind of like levitating like 1 foot up, and you can see this like sort of green, this life stream like coming out of your body and siphoning into the ground. And the rest of y'all like, again, like there's a lot of like, what the fuck happening in the Margreve? But she then gives DM inspiration to who?
It was Nefrit. Bardic inspiration to Nefrit, because Nefrit's currently on fire and probably needs it the most.
Okay. And what do you say to inspire Nefrit? Also, that was a little bit too big. All right. Okay.
I had not thought that far ahead. I'm intelligent.
That's okay. It could be anything. It could be go get him. But you're like channeling, you're levitating and channeling energy into the forest, into the ground, and the ground below her is like there is this sort of almost like glowing circle that has that same sort of translucent, shimmering green light about it. Could be anything.
All right, come on, get back and at him. You just a little fire. What's the worst it could do?
Perfect. All right. Yeah. And you're saying this. Your voice is like echoing through the forest, almost like there's like this deep reverberation, very much like the Bene Gesserit from Dune, kind of echoing through all of your minds, and you're like, fucking all kinds of shit's happening. Grixith, and that's it for Mist, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Grixith is going to kind of, this is under the canopy, and she is going to channel some magic, the Kamehameha style, in a ball, and you can tell that she is some kind of a magic user. It starts to crackle with magical potential, and you can see sort of ice shards beginning to form on it. And she's actually going to get, that's tough. Where was she? She moved 10 feet. Gonna move another 20. She's gonna cast Ray of Frost. Woo! As she kind of sees you on fire and is like, you can see like that ball of energy getting bigger, but then she sees that like you're flailing around, and she just and makes it a little smaller and launches this cone of just very cold ice energy over in that general direction. I don't know why I rolled to the GM.
Trying to figure out how not to roll to the GM.
Oh, you just gotta go to the settings. So advantage toggle, whisper toggle. Pretty good now. I'm gonna like share her art. The stock D&D art there, Grixith. And she rolled a 25, and that's gonna do 16 cold damage. Okay. As sort of icicles begin to form, but the nature of the magic and that it sort of starts as ice, the water almost turns to like vapor, and you can hear and see the steam, and it does not like this. Kind of like that. That's out this sort of roaring, sort of inhaling that shriek again. But that's it for Grixith. Gillian, followed by Catelyn.
Is Nefrit still on fire?
Nefrit is still on fire, yes.
Would we say Nefrit is about the size of a small campfire?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to get a little bit closer.
Okay.
That's the wrong button.
Also, the cart is on fire.
I see that, but I'm a little bit more concerned about my friend.
You can feel the heat
Fair.
as you get a little closer.
Yeah, I am uncomfortable, but that's fine because this is where I need to be for right now. But then I can move back.
Fair enough.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation, as part of which I can instantly light or snuff out a small campfire, which Nefrit may be at this moment.
Okay.
So she is no longer on fire.
Art by Greek 4-6. So you can see Gillian kind of, and the flames from the cart now, as you kind of swipe away the embers, and you just begin to channel the magic, almost like this wind that starts to wrap around Nefrit. Nefrit, just as you're about to scream, because it's all happening simultaneously, you feel the fire starting to penetrate that first layer of that sort of as a ganassi, that you have a little bit thicker skin literally than usual, but as you're like bracing yourself, you feel the heat just get sucked away, and Gillian kind of takes it and swirls it up into the air, and it just kind of dissipates into this scorching hot smoke above the cart. But the fire is out, and you're like, whew, okay.
Thank you.
That is your action.
You got this! And then we're
Gillian.
gonna scoot back a little bit
Okay, all right.
to where we initially were, away from the flaming cart. And then we're going to use a bonus action for some bardic inspiration, and we're going to throw it at Kathleen, who is next in the turn order.
Awesome. And Miss, who did you give your bardic inspiration to?
Nefrit.
Okay, so let's see. I always forget. Is it like a violin or musical instrument
Um,
on the roll 20 tokens? It doesn't look like it. I'll give you this little yeah. And then Catelyn. There you go. That works. That little wing
D6.
will represent a D6 bardic inspiration for Nefrit and Catelyn. Okay, and any bonus actions, Gilly?
That is my bonus action.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. That is correct. Anything else?
No, that's it. We're good.
All right. Catelyn, followed by Nefrit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sneak around this little tree bush shrubbery here.
Yep.
And then I would like to. Oh, I don't want to make a line. Oh no. I'm going to sneak around the front of the cart.
Okay.
And get up onto this rock a little bit to shoot. To first hex and then shoot my Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so that is a tree, so you're underneath the canopy. The canopy is about 10 feet up above you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the leaves are kind of like, the branches are arcing over. So that purple is just one of the old Margreve trees.
Okay. So from underneath it then.
Yep. Yeah, but you're level with the ground right now.
Hex and blast.
Okay, you got it. So you said hex first? Nice, okay. What does your hex look like?
It's not so much that it has a look as it has kind of a feel
Yeah.
and a smell.
Okay.
When you decide that you're just gonna go hang out in the bog and then all of a sudden it becomes really hot that day
Yeah.
and it's like the humidity
Yeah.
and like you can't tell if it's earthiness, poop, potentially dead animals, like you're
Mixture
not
of
sure.
both, yeah.
It's a mixture of all of the things that you're like, oh, that's a smell. And it's just a general feeling.
Okay.
Like you're on the backwaters
Yeah.
of a Florida swamp.
Yeah,
You're
so
not about it.
So these almost like these ripples of moisture start to like around the firegeist, and there's a smell of a hot peat bog in the swamps that just kind of pervades the area now, and it's concentrated around the geist, swinging around, roaring with the flame, but seems to be a little confused as to exactly what happens. But then Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
All right. Does your Eldritch Blast have a look about it? Does the actual bolt of energy have a particular look?
It does.
Sky's the limit.
It's really great. So it does have a look. She is sending a Care Bear stare from her stomach at her eldritch blast. Care Bear
Amazing.
stare, and now this makes us describe all these Care Bear mugs and other weird shit.
Yes. I'm
Our
here
first
for
note
it.
was taken with the Care Bear pen that I lost.
So Catelyn kind of just there's this heroic pose, right? Like sort of yeah, and then just kind of just a little forward thrust, and from her belly just there's this sort of almost like heart-shaped and this heart-shaped beam of energy that just kind of launches over in between Estelle and Nefrit. And Estelle and Nefrit, you feel the love coming from this beam as it, but not the fire geist, as it kind of, and you can see it kind of as so big bad damage roll. So go ahead and your first roll damage and your first die will be maxed out. So that 6 will be a 10, and the second one will be a 16. As there's this sort of wave and these ripples of sort of purplish pink energy just kind of ripple through this thing, and you can see the flames start to begin to almost extinguish themselves and trying to relight as Catelyn with the heroic pose with the Care Bear stare.
Yep.
And then the Hex does an additional 3.
Yes, 3
Awesome.
necrotic. So the 16 force and 3 necrotic.
Yeah, and then necrotic will also, all damage is doubled, so that would be an additional. Roll another d6 for me.
Just
Double
typing
that hex, too.
incorrectly. Ah, 1!
Additional 1. All right.
I helped.
Anything? I mean, that 20 is pretty damn good. That 20 with a crit on the hex too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else for Catelyn?
No,
Okay. All right.
I think that's all I can do.
Cool. All right. And Nefrit, you are no longer on fire. And as it's happening simultaneously, you can see Gilly just take the last of that smoky energy now lingering above y'all and just dispel it into the air. What would you like to do?
Don't forget you have your inspiration as well.
Yes. Can I use that with a spell attack?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Sorry, I had no idea to think about that.
a D4, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, also, I gotta check something quick for.
So,
For the bardic, a d4?
yeah.
Mine's a d6. I don't know if this is different.
Oh, Misty, is it a D4 or a D6?
Let me double check.
Also, what's the school of magic for? Oh no, that's never mind. So it's a cantrip. What's the school of magic for hex, Catelyn? Or is it a feature?
It says that for this one, if you roll the dice, choose a target affected by the spell, and add the number rolled as a bonus to the damage in this case.
Okay, so hex isn't actually a spell; it's a feature, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Hex. That's a spell, not a feature, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I think it's
So-
enchantment,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. All right. Well, enchantment seems to be good to go here. So never mind. All right.
Yeah,
So-
it looks like it's a d6.
D6. Okay, D6 for Nefrit, if you need it. What would Nefrit like to do? Also,
She's
thank
very
you, Heck.
sad about her cloak.
Yeah.
Okay, just bought it. Now on fire. It might look cooler later, but she's not really thinking about that. So she's going to
Mhm.
cast Ice Knife.
Okay.
To see how that works.
And yeah,
I feel like throwing ice at the fire monster might have limited effect.
Grixith had a cantrip. Okay, so what's the school of magic for Ice Knife?
That is Conjuration. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I do have to roll for it. That was a 9, and so I'm not going to use the bardic because I'm guessing there's not really any point.
Well, and you said it's a D6, right?
Yes.
If you roll a 5 or a 6, it might help you.
I will save it.
Okay.
Let me see. Do I have any bonus actions? What can I do?
You're also you would technically be at disadvantage because you're in melee. It's not, and it's a ranged spell attack, right? Ice knife.
Is it?
It's not going to make a difference, but I think it's a. I think it's a
Chat would
ranged.
also like to remind us that we have a floating advantage.
Yes,
if
you have
want to
2.
take that.
That you have 2.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna.
Then yeah,
Thank
and
you,
I will take advantage of that then if I may.
Okay.
Anna's being very insistent about reminding us about that.
That was worse. I rolled a 3, so that's an 8.
Well, you
It
typically.
was a 17, and then it.
Well, Anna gave y'all 2. There was one earlier, and then one in the Patreon chat. Because Patreons get all kinds of stuff, so you can technically you can use the other floating advantage if you want to. That would be.
But I will use my inspiration. I will try this one more time.
Okay, all right. Inspiration
Alright.
used. Go ahead and re-roll.
Come on, you got this.
And that's
Oh
a 2.
my gosh, what is happening?
So it'll land on like the one next to it, and then it's like, no, you get nothing. All right, I'm done. Because I don't think I have any bonus actions.
Well,
I'm sorry that my dice luck has passed to you.
no. Well, the good news is that in the process of throwing out 3 ice knives that all miss, just wildly, these 3 sort of blades of ice. One does strike the cart, and a big chunk of wood shatters and flies off of it. But the fire has now been reduced to embers sort of along the side of the cart as well. So that is a little bit of a bonus there. The fire on the cart has died
I was
down.
gonna say, like, are these things that missed? Are they taking out some of the fire somewhere at least? Because there needs to be some benefit to throwing ice around.
Just the one at the cart, yes. But the other ones are like up wild in the trees, and the trees are there are these sort of isolated fires in the trees as well. But anything else for Nefrit?
Wait, hold on. Can I do have Expeditious Retreat as a bonus action. So I would like... Can I move away from this thing? How close is it to me anyway? You know what? No,
You're within 5 feet. It's,
yeah,
like, right
but
in front of you.
still. So then no, I will wait.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, bonus action, healing word myself.
Ooh, okay. And what type of magic is Healing Word?
That is an evocation.
Okay. Evocation.
Based off the Feed the Forest description, I don't think Mist thing is over there is going to benefit her. Since it just says the target south one.
And wait, is Ice Knife a cantrip or a leveled spell?
Ice Knife is a leveled spell.
Yeah, so you, that would unfortunately be 2 leveled spells.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's
so you,
right, I
yeah,
can't
it would have
do-
to be. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, then
not
never
enough
mind.
magical potential. Because you're kind of trying to like spark the magic, and it's not quite. It's draining. But if you had a bonus action cantrip, you could use that.
And
Or
not for
anything else.
healing.
Okay.
No.
I know,
no,
unfortunately, that'd be
yeah, no,
super
they're
OP
all-
if there was.
Yeah, no. The only other one I have would be for Blade Ward, and that's not real beneficial when it's just throwing fire at me. So yeah, I am done.
Okay, all right. Estelle, were you 8 or 7? It doesn't matter too much, but I'll just give you that.
It was 7.
All right, Estelle, what would you like to do? You're up.
Yeah. So Estelle thinks, well, I have the sword. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but I'm gonna try anyway. Because even if I don't hurt it, distracting it away from the direction of the cart is a really good idea. So she's gonna go, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, right here. And we're gonna go for an attack.
Okay. Kind of do a little fancy footwork to kind of
Yeah.
get in close.
Exactly.
Do a little front barrel roll, and
19.
Nice, that hits. Do a little front barrel roll, pop up, and just take your rapier and shove it right into the side of this thing, piercing the smoke. The smoke kind of disperses around your blade, but you can see it immediately turn towards you as you hit something, almost like these consolidated embers, and you're kind of pushed, like it's like pushing through tightly packed embers, and you kind of twist the rapier and pull it back out, and this splash of embers in your face. You're gonna have to put your hand up to block yourself from the burning embers as it lets out another shriek for 6, and you do have sneak attack because you are within 5 feet. So 9 damage total. Cool.
It's like, aha! Wasn't expecting that to work. She's gonna use her bonus action as a cunning action to disengage and move 10 feet away.
Fair enough. Okay. You kind of it kind of like lunges at you.
Oh, I
with
stoked
that
the flames, I
roar.
stoked the flames, I stoked
Yeah.
the flames. Back.
However, is that it for Estelle?
That's it?
Okay, awesome. Bryza is going to just run in with her blade out and let out a roar. Just and she is going to, you can see like her breath starts to spark, but then she looks over and she can see, oh no, I think it's a solid line. Let me double check. Blue. Not Dagon. That's something different. Blue Dragonborn. There it is. Blue is a 5x30 line breath save. Okay. That'd be 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 8, 11. 13. Dex. Firegeist. Oh yeah, succeeds. Half as much on a successful save. Maybe 3d6. 8 to 4. She does kind of, as she's getting the sword ready to swing, stops and roars and just, and you can see this sort of bright light spark in her mouth and lets out this roar as this bolt of lightning. She leans forward and you can see the air around her starts to electrify. Her eyes start to spark with magical potential, and this 30-foot line, this bolt of lightning out of her mouth through the Firegeist. It does take half damage, so it takes 4 lightning damage, and she takes the sword and gets it ready to attack. But I think that is an action. Yep, it's an action. So that's going to be it for Bryza. And that's going to bring it to the Firegeist, who is not very concerned with the lightning. But the thing that actually pierced its burning coals, it's also not very smart. So it's going to just lunge towards Estelle. That would give Bryza and Nefrit attacks of opportunity if you both would like to take it. Now Bryza's going to attack with the longsword. Misses, but Bryza, a little surprised, tries to take the weapon and swing. It kind of goes through the roiling smoke in the back of the Firegeist, but Nefrit, you can make one if you'd like.
So that's, I can do a melee attack with that?
Yep.
Great. I am going to stab at it with one of my daggers.
You got it. Okay, just daggers in hand.
That's an 11.
Both of you also whiff on the Firegeist, but comes back over and charges towards Estelle. I'm gonna have to give Estelle HP and AC. HP And AC. Let's see if it recharges its fire. Does not.
God.
It is going to make 2 attacks. 16?
That'll hit.
Okay. The max damage just kind of roils
Everything's
over
fine.
and just it's
I'm so
fiery.
sorry we're getting the shape out of us.
Yeah. Okay, and it gets a second one. 13?
It misses.
Ooh. As you let out this shriek of pain as like this sort of these roiling embers just slam into you, and you can feel the impact of these sort of condensed coals smack into you and the heat that comes off of them. But you can see that almost telegraphed the other sort of burning hand as you just duck down, goes right over your hair, your little sort of bits of embers kind of in your hair. You have to like kind of put it out a little bit. But you do not catch fire, and that is the... Whew, I was getting a little nervous there. That is the end of its turn, bringing it back to the top of the turn order with Mist. Mist, you can see this thing coming after Estelle.
Okay, she's gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at it after she moves up a bit, just to make
Okay.
sure she has a clean line of sight.
Okay.
Casting that first level.
Ooh. Okay. A wisdom save.
I need you to roll badly for once.
Do you have... You know what though? You're channeling...
I'm channeling the
you
Margreve
fed
at least
the
a little
forest.
bit.
That is going to give this thing a -1. Since you're casting it at first level.
Yeah, I assume that she just kind of floated over there, not really realizing that she's off the ground.
As your magic is trying to connect, it roars back at you, and then you can see that green magic on the ground. It kind of just extends over to the Firegeist, that little circle that was underneath you. Almost like these roots start to come up out of the ground, and you can see a line being traced from that glowing green circle over to the Firegeist, and the roots start to kind of come up and pull at the smoke, almost like this rapid growing roots start to come out of the ground, and it gets just distracted enough to fail, and it's going to take that 12 psychic. As it puts both of its sort of embery hands over its face and just...
Since it failed, it has to use its reaction to move as far away as it can from me as well.
Awesome. So it's going to move... That would give Estelle an attack of opportunity, if she wants it.
Yeah. Do it. $18.
Nice.
Yes.
Another
Do it.
7. You can feel your blade piercing through the embers again, and it starts to rumble and shake, and you can hear the coals like slamming together. And there's this like 3 different explosions as bits and pieces of these burning embers just fall and leave this trail as it sort of roils, screaming wraith-like into the corner of the forest here. Anything else from Mist?
No, that's it for now.
Okay. All right, Grixith is just going to be careful with leveled spells. Anything that requires energy, and forms up another.
Has Grixith
Ray
not
of
noticed
Frost.
that Mist is currently floating and glowing?
Yeah, so she's kind of like careful. She doesn't know what you're doing, so just gonna fire. That will just hit. Another ray of frost slams into this thing. You can see icy. Frost beginning to form on this thing as it begins to slow down, and that sort of roaring shriek almost quiets down as it begins to be coated with ice for another 11 cold damage. Even though it turns to vapor almost immediately, it's slower to do so this time. And you can see Grixith kind of like trying to catch her breath, bringing it back to Gillian, then Catelyn, then Nefrit. Gillian, what'd you like to do?
Is the cart still on fire?
Yes.
I would like to put it out, please.
Perfect. All right. So you kind of approach the cart, and you just take out some, whether it's your cloak or something, and you can just use an action to put out the fire, and the fire is extinguished.
Nice.
Outstanding.
Where is our friend? Oh, he's all the way over here.
Yeah. Mist had like sort of. Mist. That was Dissonant Whispers. What's the class of that spell again?
It's. Let me check. Enchantment.
Enchantment. No, enchantment's good. All right, carry on.
Okay. I moved in pursuit. And
Okay.
that's it for my turn.
Okay, Catelyn.
This thing is not having a good day in general. Holy God.
I'm gonna sneak up a little bit.
Okay.
It's like actively fleeing from us, right?
Well, you heard you heard Mist kind of like utter these sort of whispered words that kind of let out this pulse of energy, and like you could hear them kind of echoing around the forest. But whatever she did is causing this thing to run. Not that it's necessarily afraid of you, but it is currently running or fleeing in the other direction. Yes.
I think she'll just then save her action to, if it comes back towards us, to hit it with an Eldritch Blast.
Perfect. Okay, so you do another heroic pose, and you can see that sort of heart-shaped light
I get
beginning
my tummy
to.
rumbling,
Yeah.
ready to go.
It's like sort of this pulse on standby.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Ready to Care Bear stare on cue.
Hells yeah. All right, Nefrit.
I am going to move just a little bit closer
And we
to
get
our fiery friend here.
an amethyst. So that is on Nefrit. It is your turn. So someone just cashed in House of Black. Thank you, House of Black. Cashed in an amethyst. So that is going to give you, as you kind of, whatever precious stones you have on your person, you can feel them start to kind of vibrate with energy. And you have your choice of either +5 temporary HP or +1 to your AC until the end of the session.
Let's go with the temp HP,
Okay.
since I was already on fire once.
Cool. +5 temp
and
HP.
So then I am also going to. I said be careful with leveled spells. Am I close enough to do this now? 1, 2, 3. I am. Great. So I am going to cast Sacred Flame, and you'd think that'd be weird, but it's radiant damage, not fire damage on this thing.
Okay.
Needs
Fair
to.
enough.
It's a dex save. It needs to beat a 14.
21.
God damn it.
Sorry. As it's fleeing, you try to like spark up some energy. I'm trying to think. Do you have? I think if there's anything you can do to force it to reroll.
Me, I have
Uh,
nothing.
yeah. Unfortunate. You do see that sort of pillar of sort of like radiant, sort of shimmering silver energy from the moon. Just, it kind of sparks up out of the ground like a landmine going off behind it as it tries to shake off whatever whispers Mist was sending to it.
And that'll be it for now.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And Estelle.
Okay. I think she's gonna kind of ask to the group, are we pursuing this thing or not?
Well, it's setting fire to the forest, and we can't just have it setting things alight. So, yes?
Okay, got
I mean,
it.
also, what if it comes back?
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Valid. 100%
yeah, I
valid.
was just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she can just get her movement up there. I was just like debating whether I want to throw something at it or I want to chase it. And yeah,
Fair
I'm
enough.
just gonna come right up to this thing and try to do another rapier attack.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Oh shit! Okay,
But-
cool.
No sneak attack, unfortunately, but like. it's alright.
That's okay. So that's gonna give you 1d8 plus 4. So that 6 will go to an 8. 12 plus 5, 17. All right. How do you want to do this?
Oh. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
After getting an answer from the group, I think she just kind of zeroes in on that focus. And she almost like goes to like a different view of the forest itself, like seeing this clearing almost as some type of coliseum or stadium for a second. The stands, everything alight looks a lot like how her performances would be using this, different sword tricks and sword matches and duels and that kind of thing. She envisions that again and just completely dashes up to this thing and with just kind of a clean swipe, dispatches it.
Outstanding. Let me just check what happens when you... This is a heroic act. So... Yeah, make a performance check for me.
Okay. 24.
You feel this as you kind of do that one clean swipe. Take the rapier and just slice it through this firegeist. A slice, a riposte, and one single almost in one fluid motion. This one quick fluid motion of one long swipe. It just kind of begins to expand and then just shatters, and these embers just shatter and maybe like 10-15 feet come flying out in every direction, and there's this kind of loud explosion. You can again put your hands over your face as you're just pelted with charcoal and burning embers. You can kind of get off before they actually like start to like burn or set fire to your hair, and you're able to kind of pat everything off. But then there's just this rain of soot and ash and charcoal and embers that just comes down onto the forest floor, and you have this sense of accomplishment, and you feel this deep sense of relief kind of permeate the air around you. We are technically out of initiative. Well done, by the way. I am going to let this run out. The forest is still burning, so powered by the apocalypse rules. What are y'all doing? Who's doing what?
I'm using prestidigitation to put out
Very nice.
any small things that I can see in my immediate vicinity.
Okay. All right. How about everybody else? If anything.
I'm panicking and throwing dirt on the fire.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Just throwing dirt. Just anything you can find, just throwing it up into the trees. And the fires were spreading, just doing everything you can. You can see Gillian is kind of like doing that same magic that she did with Nefrit, kind of siphoning magic out of these fires that had not yet spread as far as to be more than a campfire. Just and Catelyn doing her best to throw dirt on them. How about Mist, Nefrit, and Estelle?
Do I get the feeling that if I used a shovel to get dirt and just kind of throw it onto the fires, do I get the feeling that like that would be as large of a concern to the forest as the fire, or like would I be fine doing that?
Yeah,
I don't want to add insult to injury. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
You'd be totally fine. I know the cameras get a little wonky here for a second. I just got to find the right song that I am looking for. Ah, there it is. Got it. Top G music. Dreadmire.
Since Mist is technically connected to the force in some capacity, could she ask it what she should do?
Sure. Make an Arcana check. So Estelle, you're just kind of you grab the shovel and you're just kind of throwing dirt up into the tree. Mist, you're beginning to commune, so Arcana check. And Nefrit, what are you doing, if anything?
So how
15.
high?
Shit, I accidentally rolled that advantage.
That's okay. 13's good.
How high are these flames in these trees?
30-ish feet. So
30-ish
Catelyn and
feet.
Estelle are doing their best to throw dirt on it. Estelle's doing a little bit better because she's using the shovel, but
Would it be possible,
Gillian's kind of
without
doing the heavy lifting here.
injuring the forest, to maybe do like Thorn Whip to pull some of these boughs down so it's easier to get the dirt onto the branches?
Yeah, and you're intentionally being like gentle with it.
Yes,
not, like,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
like, yeah, so I'm going to just pull, I'm gonna throw a Thorn Whip up and gently pull down the boughs that are on fire,
Okay.
so as to not damage the trees, but make it easier for us to get dirt on there, since there doesn't seem to be any water
Perfect.
anywhere.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a cantrip. I'm just gonna keep doing that until, the fire's out.
Okay. Grixith and Bryza are just watching in amazement until Grixith starts to just throwing little sort of balls of ice at the fires as well. And Nefrit, you're throwing up a thorn whip and pulling down the branches that are higher up. So Catelyn, you've got this big pile of dirt and you're like, oh, that's convenient. You can just kind of lob them up and throw it at the fire as Nefrit is kind of actively helping to bring the branches closer. And you're all out of breath. It's hot. It's oppressive. But finally, after you're all sweating, you're out of breath. But after about 10 minutes of doing this, the forest is filled with smoke, like thick, acrid black smoke. But all the fires have ceased to burn, and you all have a moment to catch your breath.
Guess we're not the only intruders in here, huh?
Hey, Catelyn, can I have a lollipop, please?
Oh,
I'd like
sure. Yeah, yep.
So
I've
Estelle, you're
also got
Mhm.
caramels, and I have chocolate-covered pretzels, but I licked the chocolate off of some of them, so I have some wet pretzels.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've got snacks.
I'm just gonna,
Oh
I'm gonna
God,
reach in the
never
bag
change.
and like grab a couple of caramels and a lollipop and just
Uh,
sit next to the ox. Very
Aaron, I
tired.
don't know if you saw, but we have another tarot poll.
Gillian will join you.
Okay, all right,
Mhm.
you got it.
Well, that was certainly a thing.
Mm. Well, it's a good thing we were going to bed because I hurt.
Same.
How did a fire monster sneak up on us in the woods?
That's a great question, actually.
I mean, to be fair, I think we kind of like smelt it, then we saw it, so it didn't sneak up entirely. But I mean, yeah, it kind of snuck up. Oh, it was bad.
As you're all kind of catching your breath and sharing candy and moist pretzels that have had the chocolate licked off of them, that little bit of Care Bear stare light just kind of dissipates as Catelyn dispenses the treats. You can all kind of collectively hear, this is from the earlier tarot pull, this kind of like almost like hoof steps emerging from the shadow, and kind of like looking back in the direction there is just blackness, just void darkness as these hoof steps are approaching.
I'm gonna try to hide.
Same.
Sure. All right, anyone that's hiding, you can make a stealth check.
Is this still glowing?
Yes, but you can put it out.
Okay. It's just like since the spell lasts for like an hour.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen! It's a natural one for my stealth check.
These,
let's put that
these
light out.
hoof steps, do they sound like horse? Do they sound goat? What kind of hoof steps are we talking?
Make a nature check.
Nature.
No,
Oh, now
I-
you roll a 16. So that's an 18.
Okay.
Damn dice.
These are horses, but there's something unnatural about it. And you can see the forest around you almost starts to recoil and seethe, and you can see the trees almost start to like shake, and a combination of just fear or anger or a feeling you can't quite describe. And out of that sort of blackness, that void, there is what can only be described as a deathly horse, with a rider in black armor and a long white beard that has these kind of decayed features where you can see the face just kind of on the horse, and has a long black tipped spear, just comes slowly galloping out of the void.
I rolled a 25 on stealth, by the way, if that matters.
Yeah, you're pretty confident.
I'm
Plug
just
it
assuming
right
this
into
got.
Rune Tech. Just
I'm assuming that Miss probably failed it because she forgot to account for the fact she's still floating a foot above the fucking ground, so her head's sticking out of a bush or whatever.
It's just two little ears.
I'm down with that. That's actually funnier.
This is so cute.
I slink away. The sound of all my wrappers in my pocket really just echoes. Got a lovely little sound to me shuffling about trying to hide. Panic.
I cannot. Alright, so I definitely rolled an 8 on that stealth check. It is literally just me, I've gone from sitting by the ox to sort of crouching behind the ox.
Maybe hide under the ox.
5'9". That might be just a teeny bit difficult. And uncomfortable for the ox, and I don't want to do that.
And there's actually a fair amount of space under them. Lengthwise, yeah, you're not going to fit, but
Okay. Copy.
Also, someone wants to draw a. If we have artists in the audience who want to draw like a bush with the cat ear sticking out of it because that mental image is hilarious, I would appreciate
good.
it.
So, literally riding in on a deathly horse that is sort of dripping with sort of putrid black and green ichor and glowing sort of red eyes. This figure in black armor with sort of glowing amber eyes kind of looks over slowly, and you can see just the light is sucked out from around where he rides and just kind of slowly looks over in y'all's general direction and just says, "One of you bears a gift. The Witch of the Woods sends her blessings. You will be needed before the end. But for now, you must stay alive. The witch demands it."
Did the witch send a less creepy messenger next time?
Kind of opens his mouth and sort of insects, flies start to come out of the mouth as he laughs.
Gillian takes a mint
Where
out of
were
her
you
pocket.
5 minutes ago, sir?
And just says,
His bugs scare the fire, obviously.
"The witch has grown tired.
Some of her creations have grown wild. Now answer to the singing of the forest.
Are you the one singing to my lizard? It's stressing him out.
Oh,
No? Oh,
the
okay.
forest sings. The
Can we ask you
witch.
to quiet down?
We have been trying to quiet the forest
Okay.
for millennia.
That's a long time.
And the
at
forest
least
seems to be
that's
chill
another
with
year.
me, at least.
You must stay alive. The witch demands it.
Okay.
There's a tale. They once served the Margreve witch as her guardian, her protector. Until one day, when they heard singing and staggered through the forest to serve a new mistress. There are no words for what was felt that day, nor mouth for them to form. But they knew what they had to do. They must serve the ancient tree that is dying, will die, unless they help her. The forest stirs. And soon things that should have remained dead beneath the rust carpet of fallen pine needles will awaken once more. She whispered to it, the singing tree, and the heads that it brought her gave voice. With that voice, she can speak once more, calling upon her legs to chase you, her hands to throttle you, and her teeth to sink into your flesh. It is the Hollow Man, and its harvest has begun. It has grown wild and serves the song. The witch gives you her blessing to dispatch the tree and her wayward son. She extends welcome to her domain. Remember who's in charge in the forest. The witch in the shadows. Starts to back up. There is only one the Margreve fears. The witch. The old witch of the woods. Disappears into the shadow, and light returns to its presence once more, and the trees start to return to normal form.
Well, why didn't we just get a visit from the ring wraiths?
I mean, at least he didn't try to kill us. He just said that we have to dispatch the Hollow Man.
And that one of you is apparently has something that the Witch of the Woods desires.
So, no big deal.
Hey,
We got
The
this.
giant bag of candy.
Estelle, you have like this wicked case of heartburn. Like
What?
yeah, like your chest is burning. You don't feel right.
The forest didn't like him. What did Mist feel for that?
Fear.
Since I think she's still connected through it for like the next
Yeah,
half hour or so.
fear. The forest was afraid of whatever this thing was and seemed to wilt around it or recoil around it. So when it said there's only one thing the forest fears, the old witch of the woods, it wasn't fucking around. But Estelle, can you make a con save for me?
Sure. The 10.
Estelle just drops to her knees and clutches her chest. Your breathing is heavy, and your chest has this, like, there's this strange inner orange glow inside of you, and you are currently incapacitated as you drop to one knee and just slump against the closest tree, clutching your chest. Your arms are heavy, your legs are heavy, and you can just hear that same voice in the distance just whispering through as a ripple of like this dark void energy ripples through the trees above you. This kind of like
There is a pause amongst the table.
By the way,
like an kind of moment watching
that was the Emperor from before.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what is... Oh, here we go. And then one last tarot card. So yeah, what are y'all doing as this is happening, by the way?
Miss is gonna head over and check on who had the it was Estelle that had that just collapsed, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she's gonna head over and check on her.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Gillian
just,
will do the same.
yeah, she's just breathing heavy, holding right where her heart is. Can they see like an actual glow or like?
Yeah, there's like this very faint glow that's like coming from out of your chest is like glowing with this orange light, just faintly enough for you to see it. And like when you open your mouth, you can see like the inside of you is like glowing faintly.
Gillian
We
like
let
takes
that out.
Gillian takes her hand and like puts it over Estelle's heart to like try and feel her heartbeat, but notably puts it on the wrong side of her chest.
I can't hear anything. Oh no!
I can't feel anything. Are you okay? Are you dead?
I'm medically dead. Oh no!
Garnet.
Are you?
Oh, go
Are
ahead.
you
Sorry.
part lava beast? Estelle, are you part lava beast?
Was that your dad? Did we kill? Did you kill your dad?
I don't think that's my dad.
But are you sure? You don't
I
sound
mean,
very sure.
he must have really changed over the years, I guess.
It was Uncle Reggie in disguise.
No, we did not kill Uncle Reggie. Do not speak those words.
Nefrit, as you are all kind of gathering around Estelle now, you feel this, you have the sense that like someone just, whatever pocket the apple seeds are in, just kind of like takes your hand and you feel this familiar sense of calm wash over you. And that same sort of neutral feeling that like the forest, whereas the forest bent in fear before, Mist, you feel just for a moment the forest almost placated, subdued, calmed, but by this overwhelming presence. And Valerie, Mist, you feel it almost as like this heavy weight of just like if anyone takes, I take Ativan for anxiety, and if you take a whole milligram, this like heavy weight that just calms you down, that's kind of the feeling, and you're like, whoa.
What my Prozac feels like sometimes.
Yeah. And you just hear that sort of whisper in your ear, just Nefrit, that says, the infinite possibilities. Understanding how a seed can flower into fruit, into vegetables, into possibility. and just kind of put your hand over the apple seeds, and you just kind of look over at Estelle, who is like clutching her chest over by the tree.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest something strange here, and I'm just gonna go over to Estelle, and I'm gonna grab her water skin and put a seed in her mouth and then force her to swallow it. We're going Fern Gully, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen.
We're going for... Now that's a quote right there.
Feels like the right call.
With the... It's like a double reading. I pulled the ace and the 8, but I read them both, so you're going to get both benefits. So the ace and the 8 of pentacles. As you... I'll also show that one more time because they're really pretty cards. As you do, you can see the forest itself seems to reach out towards Estelle and tries to sort of relax all of you, but there is this last minute sense of that you're getting missed, as this sense of sadness and sorrow. It's like something is missing as it kind of reaches out and tries to comfort Estelle, and as you make her swallow the apple seeds, there's this intense burning at first, but then it calms and it quiets, and all of you this close to Estelle, you can see that light start to subdue, and in that moment you all just hear very audibly the sound of a beating heart just echo in through your minds and through the trees. Bum, 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 bum. And it's just this rhythmic heartbeat. And as you all are like, once again, what the fuck? It just slowly starts to fade until Estelle, you make a full recovery and you're just gasping for breath, holding and clutching your chest.
I don't think she knows what to say.
You can see the forest itself now, almost in gratitude. Kind of like, everyone can go ahead and roll an insight check for me. Okay. Everyone except Gilly, who kind of just, Gilly, you feel like a scratching at your neck, just like a little like a tap, tap from Zach. He's trying to like get your attention.
Yes, what's
And
up?
kind of just is very excited. And all of you can see the trees beginning to sort of move around. But before they do, Bryza just says, "We could probably rest here for the evening. We'll be at Levosa by tomorrow morning. Other than this bullshit, we made good time. And I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on, but..." And just kind of trails off. And you can see the forest itself is kind of like closing in around this circle. And all of you now can see, as you start to look around, about a half dozen large, armored, spiked, brown bears with glowing red eye. Not red. Their eyes have this sort of glowing natural sort of green to them, right? Like those green eyes in the forest that still sort of smoke, and they kind of just patrol the outside of the forest edge, sort of like encircling around, and you can see that there are squirrels and chipmunks and birds in the trees and those rabbits that are all slowly coming out of the forest, forming a line around the edge of this now circular sort of cradle that has formed around this clearing. And these bears just pace around the outside of the forest. And amongst them, 2 dire wolves, also in the distance, pacing back and forth.
We're protected for tonight.
And as you kind of observe this cacophony of animals that just stares and paces, 2 dire wolves, 6 brown bears, and 100 armored spiked squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, just moving in unison around the forest edge, protecting, waiting. You all feel heavy. Sleep is now beckoning you to call. You can take watches, but you feel...
take first watch.
Okay. But in this moment, it's a strange feeling. But all of you, with your insight checks, Gilly is maybe a little bit concerned, but Catelyn, Estelle, Mist, and Nefrit, exactly what Mist said. You feel that whether or not this is in response to Estelle, or in response to your assistance with defeating the Firegeist, the forest is protecting you. And its denizens have made themselves known. They just patrol along the outskirts, watching and waiting. And as that heaviness of exhaustion begins to set in, you hear that heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. Estelle, and you hear it reverberating through your mind. And your heart kind of sinks, and you're like trying to figure out and piece things together, and you just put your hand on your heart, and you feel a double thump. And it just rhythmically beats, 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 boom, boom, until you all find sleep. The rhythmic thumping of 2 heartbeats and the pacing of the forest creatures. That's where we're going to go ahead and end the session for the evening.
I'm sure it's fine.
And the forest likes us. It's all good.
Yeah.
At least like 3 of us. I don't know what it feels about Gilly and Corndog's character, whose name just slips my mind at the moment. I'm bad at those.
Catelyn.
Yeah, Catelyn. I don't know how it feels about Catelyn and Gilly, but it certainly seems to at least like miss Nefrit and Estelle for the moment.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing great. Your current scores, Estelle's up to an 8. Gilly is at a 13. Catelyn's at a 10. Mist is at a 14, and Nefrit's at a 15. Cool. Yeah, there's a tally sheet to keep for the forest.
Wait, we're building relationship values with the forest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. And then that was the last tarot card there. So let's go around the table, and with that, you can let everyone know what you have going on. So Heck, remember that D100 roll from earlier? Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was for things. That was for some predetermined sort of things that are sort of part of the initial calculation of the story. So yeah. Anyway, Heck, what you got going on?
Very cool. Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Hecklot. You can find me all over the place at Sir Hecklot, including Twitch, Itch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm all over the place. It's the best place to find where I'm going to be in the TTRPG space next, because I tend to wander just a whole lot. Though you actually won't see me on stream until next week, over on Neon Lights for Gelgalim, our Rogue 2E campaign. That Friday, the 9th, we'll be resuming with Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, our Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign, also over on Neon Lights. I do a whole bunch of stuff over there. We're going to be doing a lot of Pride stuff over there, a couple one-shots. We have a game show going on that I'm going to be hosting, which is going to be really cool. All that kind of stuff. And then on the 14th, I want to shout this out early. I'll be on Exquisite Corpse Presents with an Oops All Aces one shot, and I'm so excited. It's going to be so cool. I've never been at a table like that before, so I'm just over the moon that this is gonna work out. And yeah, that's what I got going on.
Awesome. Thank you, Heck. And also currently playing music partner, Tabletop RPG music, and Corn Dog. What you got going on in the meantime?
It's me, Corn Dog. I'm gonna be going out of town for a little bit. I'm going over to the UK Games Expo, so if you are over there, come to the competitive play area, especially around Star Wars and Marvel miniatures. I'll be nearby there. Otherwise, I think the next time I'm back is here in 2 weeks because I'm traveling. So you'll catch me here in 2 weeks. Potentially, we might meet next week for All Hail the Queen, but we don't know yet. Or at least I don't know if it had been decided yet. So
I think we are, but juries might still be out
no,
on
the adult in the room has not said, "All right, we're doing it."
that. Yeah.
Potentially next Thursday, out with us where we play the dragon one.
Heck yeah. I was able to catch some of y'all a couple of sessions ago, I think. It was a lot of fun. So go check that out. Cool. Thank you, Corn Dog. And Allie.
Hi, this is the only place I do TTRPG, so I'll be back here in 2 weeks. But if you're into more video gamey things, I do that 3 times a week. 2 times a week on Wednesday and Sunday, I'm on camera playing games. Tomorrow I'll be playing Dead Space. On Sunday I'll be playing more Played Up, which is a slightly chaotic kitchen management game. On Mondays I'm off camera, but I am being the really annoying but kind of helpful backseat gamer to my best friend Ginny, who plays games on stream there. Right now she's doing a The Last of Us playthrough. And that happens Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays from 8 to 10. And that's where you can find me, at Usually Triumphant.
Awesome. Thank you, Allie. And that's all in the link tree. And Garnet.
Hey y'all. Okay, so I am here Tuesdays and Saturdays. Saturdays with Heaven's Fire. And I am also, you can catch the first episode of my Dragon Age over at Martlet Games. That premiered this evening. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, I've got a final tomorrow that I am not ready for, but that's okay because my teacher doesn't watch this, so she doesn't know I'm saying that. But otherwise, I'm really glad I'm gonna be done with school at the end of the week because eyes is tired. But yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on. I am here and I'm over at Martlet Games.
Awesome. Thank you, Garnet. And Val.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter, occasionally shit posting, but most times you'll find me on Discord or streaming video games. This is my only TTRPG thing. Might do a stream this weekend. Definitely one next Tuesday, and definitely one next Thursday. But the Tuesday and weekend ones are up for debate. Other than that, I'll be back here in 2 weeks. And that's about it.
Awesome.
Look, I have a lot of crazy to wrangle in the meantime.
Yeah. Your day job does not sound like fun. But thank y'all for then again, does a day job ever. But thank y'all for hanging out with us for Into the Old Margreve. We play games on ESP on Roll20. Here's our Discord server. Linked earlier, currently playing. Oh, my stomach's rumbling. You can ignore it again. That's the first time. It only rumbled once this whole session. That was good. I think the solution is to not drink seltzer. But no, I'm just tired. All right, so you can join our Discord there. And we have Heaven's Fire coming up on the 3rd, this Saturday. So the next episode is, I believe it's episode 15, and it's entitled Escalation. So you can catch myself and Garnet there as well, as tensions are heating up on the other side of, because it's the same world, tensions are heating up on the other side of the continent, down in Bastion's Hold and over in the Empire. Some shit's going down. Things are happening outside of the Margreve, and y'all, your job is here, what you're doing here is just as important, and you will probably affect what's going on in Heaven's Fire and vice versa. So that's the cool thing about SE games, is I do a lot of crossover. So things that happen in this game will happen in other games. Yeah. So yeah, and my stomach is now getting all of the growls out all at once now, all at the same time. So that's our cue to wrap it up then. My stomach's saying wrap it up. So I'm going to go ahead and raid over to Tiffany Witcher. And thank you all so much for hanging out with us. And in the meantime, be nice to each other, be queer, do crime, all that good stuff, and enjoy Happy Pride Month, because I'm going to say it before we actually get there on June 1st. It's technically the 31st, so one more day, and we'll see y'all for Heaven's Fire on Saturday, and in 2 weeks I'll be back here on the 13th. Yep, and we will be entering Lavosa, the town of Lavosa, and seeing what is amiss there with the villagers. So all right, y'all, thanks again, and yeah, be awesome to each other, y'all. See y'all soon.